Alright, we're gonna continue where we left off. I just had to take a quick phone call and break.
Bad?
파티 전투에서 더욱 빛을 발합니다. 여러분은 TL에서 일반적인 MMORPG에 탱커,
Tank
딜러,
damage dealer formation. Okay,
힐러
sure.
포메이션을 취할 수 있습니다.
Got it. Makes sense.
하지만 그보다 더 많은 전략적 포메이션을 만들어낼 수도 있죠. TL에서만큼은 한순간에 탱커에서 딜러로, 딜러에서 힐러로 변신이 가능하기 때문입니다.
Trying to do tank heal.
플레이 중 파티에 위기가 왔을 때 탱커와 힐러로 조합을 변경할 수 있습니다.
Okay.
빠른 돌파가 필요하다면 딜링
Move
위주로
right through quickly, reorganize
로
focus on
재편할
damage.
수도
Okay.
있겠죠. 이런 파티 플레이의 정수를 느낄 수 있는 장소는
Pretty game player
던전입니다.
dungeons.
TL의 필드에는 더 막강한 적과 더 막대한 보상을 만날 수 있는
Let me change
So I'm curious if they have like, because they've shown this before, and I'm curious if they have anything besides just the outdoor dungeons. Do they have instance dungeons or not? Because this one looked like that it was an outdoor dungeon.
배치돼 있습니다. 필드 던전에는 두 가지 특징이
Field
있는데
dungeon seems like
한
outdoor
가지는
ones.
입장부터
Look at
어떠한
this. This
로딩
is really
없이
cool. This is
플레이가
awesome.
이어지는 심리스 던전으로 이루어졌다는 점과 다른 하나는 던전을 입장하는 조건이
Yeah, look at
레벨
this.
제한이 아니라
You just go in there.
비가 내리거나
That's badass.
밤이 찾아오는
Yeah.
것처럼 환경에 따른다는 점입니다. 즉, 저레벨이라 할지라도 던전 플레이를 즐기는데
Okay. So you can
제한은
carry your
없습니다.
friends.
던전을 탐험하는 데 필요한 건 레벨보다 동료입니다.
Companions to explore these
모든
dungeons.
던전은 혼자만의 힘으로 돌파할 수 없으며 파티원들의 서포트가 있어야만
Supported party
원하는
members,
바를
okay.
이룰 수 있습니다.
I mean, that's pretty cool. I mean, by the way, that's basically a chimera from Final Fantasy, but hey, I don't give a fuck.
어쩌면 오픈형 던전에 큰 감흥이 없는 분들도 있을지 모르겠습니다.
Open dungeons. Yeah.
제한적인 상황과 단기적인 목표 성취 때문에
And everything's Asian,
던전
right?
플레이를
So
즐기는 분들도
Sure,
많기
objectives, okay.
때문입니다.
That makes sense. Yeah, true.
like they're really like copying too much.
파티
Okay, so they do have instance dungeons. Yeah. I just don't think you can make challenging content without limiting the amount of players that are in the area. Like, you have to have instances for content to be hard.
인스턴스 던전을 보내드리고 싶습니다. 최정예 파티가 리트에 리트를 거듭하며 던전마다 제각각인 기믹을 공략
That's good. It has dungeons. Obviously, like in a game, MMO related, you want dungeons. And you want to be able to play with your friends. And obviously, if you want some challenging dungeons, you can play with your friends or other people, or higher tier rewards and stuff like that. That's always
해 나가는 MMORPG만의 협동 콘텐츠 재미를 10분 느끼실 수 있을 겁니다. 우리가 던전의 기획과 배치에 대해 고심한 이유가 바로 이것 때문입니다.
the dungeons are gonna probably be very good then.
MMORPG의
hopefully.
관계는 경쟁과 협동이 어우러진 드라마입니다. 우리는 여러분의 플레이가 심화될수록 더욱 더 많은 사람들이 모이고 연대하고
Okay, so like they're trying to make dungeons more interactive. It's no longer gonna be just like, oh, I gotta do 20 dungeons today to level up. You gotta fucking speed run this shit, you know? No, now they want people to talk and communicate and be able to like build relationships, you know, through the dungeon. You know, that's good.
떠들게 되길 기대했습니다.
Well, you have to have like social environments for the game and like places where people get together and interact with each other. That's one thing that like a lot of MMOs don't do a very good job at.
Yep.
Like, Classic WoW is great at this. Retail WoW is awful at this. Is that you have to have like open spaces. Like New World is actually kind of good at this now, where like everybody's in the town and you have open voice chat and people are seeing each other. It is super important in an MMO to see a lot of other players.
Yep.
It is just that simple.
The whole point of it.
그리고
Like if you're in an MMO open world setting, you're gonna want to feel that open world setting. You want to feel like, oh my god, there's another character right there. Look at his gear. Look at his stats. Look at this. Look at that. Wow, you know, he's just chilling here. I want to look like just like him. Look at his weapons. You know? And then if you know, and if he's on voice and stuff, you can communicate or get text and just what's up, you know? Like what do I have to do to get to you, you know, to your level? And like you also need to know like, oh, where's the players at, right? Because the big difference between playing a single player game and an open world MMO game is there's players. Play by yourself, just you. So you want to see other people. Without that, no point.
마침내는 파티를 넘어 더 거대하고 위대한 커뮤니티가 만들어지기를 꿈꿨습니다.
Yeah. So they're trying to make parties and relationships through these dungeons, so you can actually be friends
TL의
and
꿈꾸는
maybe
협동
guilds.
콘텐츠의 최종 진화 형태입니다.
Okay. So there's definitely gonna be guilds in here. You play a big part of your, I guess, yeah, how you're gonna fit into their world, I guess you could say.
여러분이 TL의 세상에 적응하기 위해서 길드는 필수적인 요소가 될 것입니다.
Sure.
길드원의 모든 플레이 결과는 길드 전체의 베네핏으로 치환되며
this is nice. So like people are encouraged to make large guilds. I remember in Cataclysm, everybody was encouraged to make really big guilds, and I think it's an overall positive to have like a bunch of members in a guild all playing together, even if it's not like a serious guild. I think it's still better than people playing solo without a guild.
Yeah.
길드의 성장과 개인의 성장은 선순환 구조를 이룹니다.
Nice.
All right.
길드가 성장하면 그만큼 개인의 성장을 촉진시키는 컨텐츠들이 오픈됩니다.
Wow.
I'm curious to
그
see how this
대표적인
goes.
예가 길드
Guild
레이드입니다.
Oh, guild raids. Alright, yep.
길드 레이드
What the wait, hold up. What's this? Where'd it go?
In a
그
guild,
대표적인 예가
it's your guild
길드
area.
레이드입니다.
There.
That's pretty sick.
Okay, so these are the different bosses that you can fight, and I guess these are the levels of the bosses, and these are too hard for the current raid, probably because you need to be at least probably level 33 to enter, or 34 to enter, I'm guessing. And that's the loot that can drop. That's cool.
Maybe.
Okay.
Well, that's our clone.
Oh,
길드
guild level.
레이드는 독립된
Okay.
공간에서 오직
Kind of has a lost
길드원들로
arc
도전하는
kind of feel to it
보스
with some of the
누구나
ways that
참여할 수
they
있는
customize
오픈필드의 특성상 높은 경쟁률을 보이는 필드
everything.
레이드와 달리
their menus and all
안정적인
that.
성장과
Okay.
재화 확보를 담보합니다. 동시에 필드 레이드보다 더 강력한 난이도 모드가 있어
Guild bosses.
길드원들과 힘을 모아
Pretty cool.
한계를
like
극복하는
BDO.
설치의 재미를
So it's
느낄
like
수
We're
farm mode,
bosses.
basically.
길드가 성장하는 만큼 플레이어는 더 크고
All right.
대단하고 다이내믹한 경험들을 할
Sure.
수 있습니다. 가장 단적인 예가
Get
공성전입니다.
some point siege warfare.
TL의
I
공성
wonder how laggy this is going to be.
Eh,
That's the one thing I think about. Is like, yeah, how laggy is this going to actually be?
전은 개발
Right.
기술의 집약체입니다.
I mean, I think they do a pretty good job. BDO does a really good.
This seems pretty good.
BDO does a pretty good job with it, so I don't think they'll have an
직접
issue.
거대 생명체인 골렘으로 변신해
Yeah, it's not
전쟁에
fucked up
참여할
hardly
수
at all.
있는 지금껏 경험하지 못한 공성전을
Yeah.
선보이기 위해 많은 도전들이 있었습니다.
I didn't really doubt it.
Before battle.
TL의 공성전은 기존과 달리 단순한 백병전이 아닌 전략 싸움.
Overall, I would think that they would know what they're doing.
Wait, so they can you can glide in from the whale? That's cool.
크랙인 골렘의 존재와 다양한 진입로, 환경의 변화 등이 TL의 공성전을 더욱더 역동적으로 만듭니다.
The problem is with Asians that they're so good at making games that they make so many at the same time that they have to try to stand out somehow and try to make things even more crazier because
치열한 전쟁,
they put so much time and energy into their games. Not like Americans where we just
공성전에 승리한 길드는 골렘을
kind of copy
소환해
paste the same game over and over again with a few minor changes and say it's a new
It's
game.
like a caravan system.
Or
I
they
get it.
change
So
change
you
the whole
defend
thing.
caravans so people can't
대학
break into them.
길드들은 당연히 그 세금을
Okay,
빼앗기
that's
위해 모이게
interesting.
되죠.
Oh, that's cool.
성을 끼고
Alright.
싸우는 전투의 양상과 달리 협곡과 평야를 오가며 싸우는
that's really
세금
cool.
수송은 수성의 유리함 없이 훨씬 더 격렬한 장면들을
Damn.
연출합니다. 특히 양 진영의
Okay.
골렘들이 충돌하는 장관은 개인적으로 제가 TL에서 가장 좋아하는 장면입니다. TL에는 서버 내 모든 길드가
I mean,
연합해서
I'll go
싸워야
to-
하는
to
적도
defeat.
있습니다.
Okay, who is it?
바로 아크보스입니다.
Is the Arc boss?
아크보스를 공략하기 위해선 공성전에 투입되는 그
Okay.
이상의 플레이어 간 협력이 필요합니다.
Yeah. I mean, he's not as
하지만 방심할 수
badass,
없습니다.
but
아크보스를 잡는 그 순간에도 길드들은
Still a chance
서로를
of
노리고
opposing
있습니다.
attack.
공동의 적을 함께 노리면서도 동시에 서로를 견제해야 하는 긴장감이
So you
TL
can actually like attack people while somebody's doing the combat. Oh, that's very interesting. I wonder what's gonna happen.
it's gonna be a lot of
I
ass
feel that would
kicking.
be like super annoying. I don't know what's gonna happen. What this is gonna be, man. Yeah, maximum griefing. Yeah.
대규모 레이드의 특징입니다.
Yep.
Like in classic WoW, the World Boss Coalition I was in used to do countdowns where they would like say the person's name whenever they said something in like general chat, and they would do a countdown. And whenever there was like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, report, and then everybody would report the same person at the same time, and then the person would get suspended, and you would see them running back to the boss, and then their character stop running and just running in place, and then just disappear, and then they come back and they're like, why can't I join my raid anymore? So yeah, I don't know, man. I always worry about this kind of stuff. This looks really cool, though.
Yeah. I mean,
여기까지 듣는다면
yeah, that's very true too. It's like the only issue with that is, will they grief you when you're about to be, like, say you're weak, and like you got your ass kicked? Will that be their time to go in there and kick your ass? You know what I mean? Like, oh, they're weak or they're distracted. Let's take them out. You know. And will you be able to like get away from the boss and kind of like fight the other people while keeping your cool, your ground? You know. You know, my immediate thought is, if I'm getting attacked from behind and fighting a boss, it's to retreat back, you know, get some better ground, and then, which means I would have to like space myself from the boss so I don't get attacked from like the boss and the opposing guild. Which I hope the boss won't teleport or whatever, dig a hole and come right back to us. Try to finish us off, you know. Will the boss attack the other opposing guild, you know? Will it kind of be like half and half, you know? Because if we start the initial fight, will it only attack us, or will it attack anyone around the area?
길드를 위해선
Wondering
PVP의
lessons of
스트레스를
2000.
견뎌야 하는가 고민이 되실 수도 있습니다. 물론 대다수 길드 컨텐츠는 PVP를 염두에 두고
So
디자인됐지만
guilds
PvP.
are mainly for PvP then. Okay.
우리는 플레이의 성향에 따라 길드의 성격이 달라질 수 있길 바랬습니다.
Okay.
여러분이 평화적인 플레이를 희망하고 그런 사람들과 플레이하길 원한다면
Yeah, my understanding is that like some zones, this is what they said before, is that like some zones, like they're dynamic, right? So sometimes they're PvP zones, sometimes they're not.
굳이 적대 길드를 만들지 않고 길드와 함께 지역 이벤트에 참여하고 사냥 퀘스트를 수행하는 것만으로도 충분히 성장을 체감할 수 있을 것입니다.
I think this is like one of the like aesthetic things that like you look at like Log Horizon or you look at Overlord, where you have people that are in like effectively the guild, and they are like, there's some people that are like combat oriented and some people that are more like life skill oriented in those games. And I think it just makes sense in general in a fantasy setting that there's people that are more combat oriented and people that are less combat oriented. So I hope the guilds don't have like a very low cap, and you can have very large guilds that can support like different groups of players.
Yep.
So it's not just like you have to have, like in New World, for example, the company size is very restrictive. So you can't have a ton of people in your company, which means that the only people that can be in a company are like these super serious players.
이동만으로 재미를 느낄 수 있는 월드와
Yeah, when it comes to guilds, it's very important that you're able, especially if you want to make a big guild or whatever, you know, when it comes to smaller guilds, it's very hard to have more flexibility because if you try to do like the content. Like guilds are known for PvP mostly, and you know there's gonna be raids and stuff, whatever. But the most part, like you're still gonna need what that can do the content, which is raids, dungeons, PvP. So if life scaling is like something that pretty much everyone's probably gonna do, so it's not gonna be like, oh, we need one person just doing this, you know? Because I'm pretty sure everyone's gonna do a bit of something, which is what usually happens, you know? There's not like one life skill. There's like 10 guys that all life skill one thing, and they all help the guild that way.
할 만한 가치가 있는 전투.
If guild alliances, yeah.
But you know, like I said, it's for me, diversity is better. You know, if you have like 10 guys doing life skilling only, then you have 10 guys that are just, you know, you have like 20 guys that say doing PvP, and then you have another 20 guys doing raids. It balances everything out, you know, because you have people to do the content, you have people to do this, that, and then you know, for those that really hate life skilling, they don't have to force themselves to do life skill. You know? Because in most cases, if you're in a small guild, you have to pick up something to help the guild out.
그리고 모두가 함께할 때 빛을 발하는 플레이가 PC MMORPG TL의 모습입니다.
This is nice.
TL은 런칭 때 2개의 지역이 공개됩니다.
Okay.
그곳에서 여러분은 19개의 사냥터와 8개의 도시, 6개의 던전을 탐험할 수 있고 2종의 아크보스, 18종의 보스와 싸우게 됩니다.
Okay. I mean, that's pretty decent, I would say. Yeah,
Sure.
I don't know. Age of Camelot did it back in the day. You had crafters that supported your keeps and made gear for people that went out and defended, did combat, etc. Yeah, like I like the aesthetic of a person who's like maybe not very good at combat could still like have a role in a very serious good guild because they're a min-maxer with crafting or something like that. Like I like the idea of that. It's a great aesthetic for like creating a more realistic world.
여기에 더해 여러분의 모험과 도전이 끊기지 않고
Crafting
이어지도록
slaves? Yes.
많은 계획을 준비 중입니다. 언제나 TL을 플레이할 때
Yeah, like I mean, I'll say this. This one doesn't really look that good. Like it just looks like it's kind of unfinished. The textures, but like the outdoor textures, like this looks incredible. Like this is great. I mean,
Well,
yeah,
we're gonna be outside more
this
anyways.
this passes the vibe check. Is it very? It's not like amazing in a way, right? I mean, it doesn't have like a really good like style to it, but it's good. It definitely passes the vibe check.
TL을 플레이할 때 새로운 경험을 전해드릴 수 있도록
Yeah, it's not like, oh my god,
Microtransactions,
you know.
You should be more afraid of the fact that it's made by NCSoft. Like NCSoft is the one making this game. Like Amazon probably will pull some of this stuff back, like they did with Lost Ark.
또 계속해서 아이디어들을 추가해 나갈 예정입니다.
여기까지 우리 게임에 대해 설명드렸습니다. 지금 말씀드린 것들이 우리가 말하고 싶었던 TL에 대한 이야기라면 이제부터는 여러분들이 궁금해하셨던 TL에 대한 이야기를 나눠보려 합니다.
Yeah, he just did that.
Would he change class?
그동안 TL의 준비 과정에서 많은 분들이 전해오신 궁금증들과 공업 내 의견 게시판을 통해 들려주신 조언들에 대해 자세히 답해드리는 시간을 준비했습니다.
Okay, comments.
더 빨리 이런 자리를 마련했어야 했지만 정확한 답변과 시기를 조율하다 보니 여러분을 기다리게 만들어드렸습니다. 오래도록 저희의 이야기를 기다려주신 분들께 감사와 사과의 말씀 먼저 전합니다.
I don't give a fuck about how long the game takes. I'm going to be honest. I don't care. If the game takes 3 years to come out, then that's fine. I will play something else until it's ready. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
그럼 먼저 여러분이
I mean, I would love to play it now, but hey,
Wow.
it is what it is.
All right. Okay. I respect it. This is a +1 to respect, I would say. Immediately addressing the elephant in the room. Or sorry, the whale in the room.
가장 궁금해하셨던 질문입니다. 오늘
So
이
he
자리에서
respect to accountant. Today we address his monetization model.
TL의 전체적인 BM 구성에 대해 말씀드리겠습니다. TL의
Four
BM은
main
크게 네
monetization
가지입니다.
models. What the fuck?
먼저 패스형 상품입니다.
First our pass bounce. Okay.
캐릭터 성장에 따라 보상이 지급되는 성장 패스.
Okay.
4주 단위의 특별 미션을 클리어하는 배틀 패스.
So it's like a monthly
이
battle
두
pass?
가지가 TL의 패스 모델입니다. 패스 상품을 구입하지
You can
않아도
receive a free pass as a base reward.
기본 보상인 무료 패스가
Base reward for
제공되지만
what?
유료 구매를 할 경우 추가 보상을 얻게 되는 방식입니다.
Okay.
패스 상품의
So
구성을
the free pass
크게 꾸미기
that
목적으로
gives you like free
They're not
stuff.
all cosmetic.
That makes sense. So it'll be like a free pass. So you'll get that no matter what. You know, you'll get some free rewards probably every season just by playing the game and doing stuff. But that's linked to the battle pass. So if you get the battle pass, you'll get double those rewards basically, or additional rewards, whatever. Sort of like a lot of their mobile games are like that. If you ever played any of their anime mobile games, a lot of their monetizations are like that, where there's a growth pack, there's a free pass, and like a lot of Korean games are like that, anyways. So I'm kind of used to this system. It's not really a bad system. It's so here's the thing, right? You can play free to play, and you'll get some rewards, right? So it's better than getting nothing, right? And you probably be able to use some of your in-game currency to eventually buy some of the things that are in game, right? But obviously it's gonna take grinding and hard work and all that stuff like that. But with these growth packs and these battle pass packs, you're able to get skins and other additional rewards that you wouldn't normally get if you didn't purchase them first place. And some of these things are very um first year premiere, like first month, like this is like, oh, if you don't get this, is you're probably not gonna see it for the year or two. So it's kind of like it forces you to kind of like want to purchase this stuff because like I'd say it's a character that you really enjoy, or you're really enjoying the game, and there's a cosmetic that you just need to have because this is what you want your character to look like, and it would just make your experience in the game that much better. So it's and I'm sure there's gonna be there's gonna be like packs where you can buy skins separately and buy other mats separately, and then probably gonna be like special skins that come out every season and every month, and it's gonna be like, all right, well, we're gonna be producing these packs, and it's only gonna be for this special, this special time event or whatever. There's gonna be a lot of event stuff that you definitely gonna be able to purchase along the way. Now, obviously, it's not gonna be forced on you, but for me, I love cosmetics. I love skins. It doesn't really enhance your combat or your stats or anything, but it definitely, for me, visually, it enhances your feel. So I think when it comes to these things, it's not gonna be like you need to buy the stuff, but you're gonna be very encouraged to do it.
So I am okay if you have a battle pass system if the game is being continuously developed because it functions as if it is a subscription to the game.
Yeah.
I'm talking like a World of Warcraft subscription, a Final Fantasy subscription, the Lost Ark Crystalline Aura. I think OSRS has some form of that.
If you're playing the game a lot, battle pass is completely fine. If you want to progress faster in the game because you just want to progress faster, content, whatever, etc., reasons you have, growth pass is probably where you want to go. If you have a little bit of extra money in your pocket, you can do that. Now, obviously, not something you could do. You should, like, the growth pack is probably going to be something that you pay every season, like $10-$20, and it automatically gives you all these rewards that you just get from just playing the game and completing missions. So it's not like it's going to be something that you have to pay for every single time, but it's going to be every month or every 2 months, whatever their plan is, whatever their cycle is, and you got to pay that. Basically, you should be getting free battle pass and then growth rewards monthly basically, and you'll be getting whatever they got: cosmetics, mats, materials to upgrade your weapons, gear, whatever.
If you want a continuously developed game, you should expect to have to chip in regularly for that to happen.
Yep.
Now that's just all there is to it. If you don't want a continuously developed game, then no, like I don't know, Elden Ring. But if you want something that's continuously developed, you need to have it. You need to give them money.
And that's the biggest thing. A lot of people say, "Oh, pay to win, pay to win." It's these game companies spend a lot of money, right? Um, some of them are small gaming indie companies. Some of them are big AAA companies. But either way, they gotta answer their investors and their company and their boards of staff, and all these purchases that they're making to make this game and all this. It's very intensive basically, and when it all comes down to it, they gotta release this game, right? And it comes down to marketing and their advertising and how they come about the game and stuff. Sometimes, if you're lucky, you don't really do that much advertising, but it's 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 really hard nowadays to make a good game and for people to be like, yes, I love it, and they're gonna actually stick with it and play with it. Um, and a lot of these games nowadays, like, it's hard to get someone to spend $60 on a game. Um, and then when people do, um, they'll give you hell on earth if the game sucks, right? I spent $60. I can't believe I just spent 70, $80 on this game and it's trash, right? Um, versus, oh, I'm just gonna spend $10 on a battle pass, try the game out for a little bit, see how I like it. It's just like a little by little, right? And it may not seem much, but if 10 people do it, 20 people, 1,000, that will fund the game and it will allow them to keep adding content. And that's what people need to understand, that the more money you put into these people's pockets, especially you love the game, it's gonna make the game last longer. The game dies when people stop playing it and stop putting money into the game. The reason why World of Warcraft is still alive to this day is because people still play it religiously and still put money into the game. The subscription fees is what keeps them alive. If it wasn't for that, I'm pretty sure that they probably would have died a long time ago. They wouldn't be able to produce any more content because there's no money to fund it.
Money, right? So, and I think as long as it's something that is uncapped, or sorry, is capped. The problem is so let me actually just let them finish. I don't find this to be problematic
도움이
yet.
되는 재료들로 이루어집니다. 성장 재료의 경우 성장 과정에서 찾아오는 결핍을 보조하는 수단일 뿐 극복 불가능한 격차를 발생시키지는 않도록 주의했습니다.
Alright, so
TL 배틀 패스만의 특징은 패스 달성 후에도 플레이어의 시간이 휘발되지
This is interesting. So even after you finish the battle pass, you get more stuff.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, because you would think because what if we finish the battle pass early? Most of the time it's just done, right? This is the first time that you'll get stuff afterwards. That's actually pretty nice. So there's a bigger benefit to this battle pass than any other battle pass that you would have gotten in the past. That's pretty awesome. And if that's how they're gonna go with it, then gonna encourage more people that already like battle pass and they like certain pay to win functions. I mean, for me, I support it because it helps fund the game, right? It helps develop more content for us in the future. Because like I said, they see that we love the game. We're putting money into the game, and that's putting money back into their pockets that they spent on the game that they invested on, right? A lot of the game companies spend thousands, millions of dollars on these games, and if they don't turn out good, that's a loss investments, and that could tank their company. Um, if they take too many losses, you know what I mean. Sometimes it just takes a one, and that's it. It's the end of your career. If you're lucky, you get a few chances and recover. But in my book, there is nothing wrong with a battle pass. There's nothing wrong with buying skins to make your character look good. You know what I mean? The only problem for me is if like you're buying something like a weapon that's fully upgraded and that can slaughter the strongest arc boss in the game without even having to play. You know what I mean? Like even if even if let's say there is such a thing, some god sword, right? And they did put it on the marketplace. Like you would have to like in order to buy that sword, like I don't care. You know what I mean? Like you would have to be max level, max everything that you have, max in certain stats in order to even pay for that weapon. Like it shouldn't be like I just got the game today and I bought the God Sword. Now I'm gonna go raid with my boys and kill everything. No, it shouldn't be like that. Um, I think that's a little unfair. But I feel like if you play the game enough and it literally just adds +1 or +2 attack. Let's say it's not really that much like different, it's like +1 attack or whatever, right? +1 everything. Yeah, that would give you an advantage in certain instances, but let's say if it's restricted to only PvE content, right? Now I understand like, oh, they can get to certain raids a little, like not that much faster, but like a tiny percentage faster. Um, it won't really be that bad versus like it's a PvP game where that 1% can determine whether you win or lose. People will use that against that. So as long as it's not restricted to PvP, then as long as it's not like diving into PvP where it forces people to like, yeah, basically like take losses because someone bought some $100, $200 sword or whatever. I mean, obviously, it'd probably be a lot more than that.
한다는 점인데요. 패스를 완료하고
But
1일
yeah,
미션을
missions after
추가
games
달성할
also
경우
require points. Okay.
포인트를 획득하게 되며 이 포인트는
That can
특수한
be
추가
exchanged for extra
아이템들과
items. Okay.
교환할 수 있습니다. 즉, 플레이하는 만큼 효과를 발휘하는 게 TL식 패스의 핵심이라 할 수 있겠네요.
That's
That's
good.
probably a good idea because most battle passes, after people finish them, they probably quit.
두 번째는 스킨 외형 상품.
I mean, I don't know about the quitting part, but it is true. Like some people after they finish their battle pass may take a break, right? Because like, oh well, I just finished all the content here. Nothing else. I'm not getting any extra rewards for it. I'm just gonna wait. Some people may do that, but it's probably to be predetermined, right?
Skins and cosmetics. Okay.
외형 상품은 플레이어가 착용 가능한 의류이며 능력치를 증가시키는 형태는 아닙니다.
Not increase stats. Okay.
MMORPG에서 내 캐릭터의 외형이 가지는 중요성은
Yeah, as I said, I wish that they didn't sell cosmetics. Like, I wish you could just like look at somebody and like know if they're good or not. Like, I think this is a thing of the past, but I'm sad about it because back in the day it was like really cool and WoW that like, you saw somebody with like certain gear and like you knew exactly where they were from and everything. But I just think this is just, it's unfortunately gaming in 2023, right? But I'm in cosmetics. Okay.
I mean, all right. He makes a good point here. I mean, I understand where he's coming from because I'm from the same, around the same timeline. I'm pretty sure we're around the same age, and it was back in the day where if someone did a raid or did some crazy boss fight, they would have a certain gear, and you would know this person did this or this person did that, and he's a badass, right? That's applies to RuneScape, World of Warcraft, a lot of these old school games that had them, probably Skyrim too. Like a lot of these really old games that hey, I had a special gear and where I come from, right? Nowadays, yeah, it's I play the game for a week and I bought this crazy ass skin and they think I'm a badass that destroys everything. But literally, I can't even beat my grandma on my best day. I don't know. I agree with that, but I like my character to look good.
외형 상품은 플레이어가
Now, if there's all right, the only problem with this is that okay, I get what he's saying, but at the same time, I want my character to look unique, right? if everyone does that crazy boss fight because they like the way this guy looked after he completed the boss fight, he got this cool gear. Everyone's gonna do that very same boss fight, and then everyone's gonna have the same gear. And it's gonna have 20 different guys look the same. For me, that's not appealing. Now I want to be able to go and buy certain cosmetic pieces and mix and match them, right? I can change the top, the bottom, the headgear, whatever, and it'll be completely different from what the marketplace has because it'll be all mismatch, right? So I design my own outfit, and then it's like, oh, look at this guy, he looks badass, right? And it's not even so much of, oh, he's good at the game, right? Because let's be honest, right? Some raids you're getting carried, right? Certain boss fights you're getting carried, right? So it doesn't necessarily show that you're really good at the game, necessarily, you know what I mean? Because you don't know if somebody got carried or someone cheated a fight or whatever happened, right? So for me, it's not always a guarantee that the person's good because you probably can kick his ass, but it is kind of like a token of their own. Oh, I did this, I did that. Yeah, I do want to have those as well, but I don't want to be walking around looking like everybody else. Like if this is the ultimate boss fight, like you really think I want to be the one of 10,000 weebs that are all rocking the same outfit because they all feel like, it's the best outfit in the game. And because they didn't pay for it and they actually work for it, that this is the only gear to rock. It's like, no, it's like we all can look a little different, right?
가 착용 가능한 의류이며 능력치를 증가시키는 형태는 아닙니다.
Not increase stats. Okay.
That's
MMORPG에서
good.
내 캐릭터의 외형이 가지는 중요성은
Yeah, as I said, I wish that they didn't sell cosmetics. Like, I wish you could just like look at somebody and like know if they're good or not. Like, I think this is a thing of the past, but I'm sad about it because back in the day it was like really cool and WoW that like you saw somebody with like certain gear
Okay.
and like you knew exactly where they were from.
I have an idea. This is even a better idea. How about this, right? Depending, because they have this unique system where you can create almost 24 unique classes, right? If that's the case, then if you're able to create one of these special classes and get a mastery in it, then you should be able to have a certain look based on that class that you customize. And of course, it's still customizable, color and everything, the length of certain clothes and stuff. You can make it like a longer, tighter feel, shorter, whatever. So at least then, even if thousands and millions of people have mastered these 24 classes, at least everyone's gonna have a different kind of look. Okay, and it will still show that you're a beast of the game, that you're a mastery of your class, but you have your own unique style. I think that would be cool, right? You master your class, you get a special, unique look that's customizable. That you can dye, you can cut up and customize as you please.
From and everything, but I just think this is just it's unfortunately gaming in 2023, right?
I don't think it's a
보다
bad
나아질
thing.
만큼
I think there's definitely should be the option of having both in the game where you should be able to like play the game and get that cool gear that no one else could do unless you did that special mission, raid, dungeon, whatever event, and also be able to buy it if you choose. Just for fun. It doesn't show any skill, but it makes you feel good about your character and your class.
여러분의 개성을 마음껏
That's all.
표현할 수
Just
있도록
makes you feel good about you.
되어 있습니다.
Has nothing to
그
do with
노래
anything
배경이
else.
바로 커스텀 기능인데
Wow.
Okay.
하나의 복장을
I
구매하면
mean, that's pretty good. I mean, comparing this to like other MMOs, right? You look at WoW, you look at DOS Arc, you look at BDO, you get all these really good customization characters. And you see this, and it's just pretty good. Like it seems like a Destiny kind of feel, but very Korean style, very fresh, very nice.
에도
I like it.
여러 가지 스타일 변주를 줄 수 있는 기능입니다.
See, you can modify a single outfit in different ways. Look at that. That's good. I always thought. See, that's what I was just talking about. Is modifying one outfit into different series, so it's not like the one outfit that everyone bought at the marketplace. Everyone has to look the same. That's pretty. I don't like that. See, there's color, texture, and add specific patterns.
복장의 컬러와 질감을
That's really cool.
조정하거나
Okay.
특정한 무늬를 삽입할 수 있으며 하나의 옷도 각각
See, even customize individual parts. See, that's what I'm talking about. Is be able to customize individual parts that you can really have a unique look, right? It doesn't necessarily make you look like it doesn't make it doesn't make you a badass, but it makes you look like a badass, right?
각각의 부위를 따로 커스텀할 수 있어
That's cool.
같은 옷도 착용자에 따라 전혀 다른 느낌을 표현할 수 있습니다. 리폼하듯 코스튬을 사서 커스터마이징하는 모습이 TL만의 독특한 문화가 되길 바라고 있습니다. 세 번째는 거래소입니다.
The marketplace? What's this?
MMO
The marketplace. Obviously, the place where you can buy skins, cosmetics, and possibly other things that can help you grow faster.
RPG의 특징 중 하나가 바로 자생하는 경제일 겁니다.
It's also saying economy.
저희는
We hope the
우리
economy of our
게임의
game will be
경제가
fueled by production and trade between players. Well, that's amazing. See, that's good because you want your economy obviously to be fueled by farming, and trade. That's really good because there's certain games that don't allow you to trade, and trade is one of them. Like having a marketplace where people can in-game marketplace where people can sell their stuff, their gear, their weapons, pets. If there is pets, hopefully there are pets. People love pets, right? Everyone loves fucking pets, right? So hopefully there are pets in here. I didn't hear anything about pets, but we're definitely gonna check it out if there are any pets.
플레이어 간의 생산과 교환에 의해 활성화되길 바랍니다.
Now, obviously, hopefully there's not
유저 간의 교환은 거래소를 통해서 이루어지며
any
거래소의
interference.
화폐는 유료 화폐 루센트입니다. 거래소가 활발하게
Oh,
돌아가야
that's
유저
so dumb. So like, so they have fions in the game?
Oh yeah.
So you have to buy things on the auction house with fions? What the fuck? Oh my god, bro! Like,
Well, I didn't. Did you really say that?
우리 게임의 경제가
We hope the economy of our game will be fueled by production and trade between
플레이어
players.
간의 생산과 교환에 의해 활성화되길 바랍니다.
Trading between players will take place through the marketplace. Oh. So not in-game marketplace. It'll be like the actual store marketplace.
유저 간의 교환은 거래소를 통해서 이루어지며 거래소의 화폐는 유료 화폐 루센트입니다. 거래소가 활발하게
oh,
돌아가야
that's
유저
so dumb. So like, so they have fions in the game? So you have to buy things on the auction house with fions? What the fuck? Oh my god, bro! Like, oh, not fions, actual cash shop currency. If they have just like a cash shop currency, I don't really care about that. But if they're gonna have fions in the game, then what'd you expect? It's a Korean game? I don't care. It's straight to not fions, it's words, it's straight to cash. Wait, what?
화폐 유저 간의 교환은 거래소를 통해서 이루어지며 거래소의 화폐는 유료 화폐 루센트입니다. 거래소가 활발하게 돌아가야 유저들의 플레이가 더 즐겁고 보람찰 것이라는 걸 잘 알고 있습니다. 거래의 수요와 공급이 끊이지 않고 발생하도록 콘텐츠의 밸런스를 조정하는 데 노력하겠습니다. 마지막은 야성 변신체 같은 단품
So, basically you can buy currency, premium currency, and then buy things off of the auction house. So that's even worse than fions. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm not understanding this. That's just complete pay to, yeah, it's totally pay to win, right? I mean, like, yeah, you can just buy gold. It's only premium currency allowed on the marketplace. Any player can farm the premium currency. It doesn't matter. Can you buy it? Because if you can buy it, then who gives a shit? You can't buy everything on the auction house? Yeah, but how much can you buy? Marketplace items are very limited.
Depends on someone selling it.
이 부분은 다음 질문과 함께 이어서 설명드리는 게 좋겠습니다.
Amatoys and morphs obtained via loot boxes. Who cares?
베타 테스트 이후부터 줄곧 이어진 질문인데요.
It's
자세한
cosmetic.
설명을
Who gives a
위해서
shit?
언급된 두 시스템이 무엇인지 간략하게 설명을 드려야 할 것 같습니다. 두 가지 모두 플레이를 위해 제공되는 기본 시스템들로 아미토이는 자일과 루팅을 전담하는 조력자론이고 야성변신은 TL식으로 해석한 탈 것의 변형입니다. 결론부터 말씀드리면 아미토이와 야성변신 모두 확정형 상품입니다.
Oh, so you just buy them outright.
스킨처럼
Okay, that's
외형적
good.
가치에 비중을 둔 상품들이기 때문에 인게임에서
So no
습득 가능한
difference from
비판매용과 판매용 간 성능 차이는 없습니다.
Okay, so they're totally cosmetic. That's good.
아미토이와 야성변신을 수집할 경우 개체가 많을수록 혜택이 늘어나는 수집 콘텐츠도 존재합니다. 바로 아미토이의 탁본집과 야성변신의 수집 레벨인데요. 방법은 각자 상이하지만 인게임에서 습득한 개체들만으로 달성 가능한 것이 공통적인 특징입니다.
Okay.
여러분이 가장 귀여워하는 인형과 가장 멋있다고 여기는 야성의 모습으로 TL의 월드를 여행하시길 바랍니다.
Was the Western market the reason for the changes? They're going to say no, right? Because this is for Koreans, and Koreans don't want to hear that Westerners are making them make changes to their game. Yeah, they're going to say no.
게임의 변화에 직접적인 영향을 끼친 건 베타 테스트에 참여하셨던 테스터분들의 의견이었습니다.
Which, by the way, like being pay to win, like I play Lost Ark, it's pay to win as fuck. I play Honkai Star Rail, it's pay to win as fuck. I play World of Warcraft, it's pay to win as fuck. It's probably another one I play too. That's also pay to win. So, I mean, it's not that I wouldn't play the game because it's pay to win. The reason why people were unhappy about the game had nothing to do with pay to win. The game was bad. And this is what I think like a lot of people don't seem to understand, is that people's complaints with games like this are completely centered around the quality of the game, and the pay to win problem is like a secondary issue. Like in BDO, you can pay to win. Is that why people don't like the game? Not really, no. Star Rail was not pay to win. There's no win. You're competing with anyone, though. If you spend money in a game and you get an advantage because you're spending money, it's pay to win. Like, it's that simple. There's no fine print.
진심으로 우리 게임을 플레이하셨던 분들의 의견에 큰 울림이 있었고 지금의 결정까지 오게 됐습니다.
Advantage against who? Advantage against yourself whenever you didn't pay the money. Don't you ever think out conversations before you ask questions that are so obviously easily answered? Think out what somebody's going to say before you just ask a dumb question. Players in North America are also looking forward to our game. Yep.
북미 플레이어들 역시 우리 게임을 기대하시는 분들이고 당연하게 그분들의 의견도 동참하고 있습니다. 하지만 북미 진출만을 위해 자동 사냥을 제거했다는 이야기는 확실하게 아니라고 말씀드릴 수 있습니다.
Well, no, it wasn't, because no, he's right. It had nothing to do with the North American realm. Everybody in Korea said this game was garbage. And Insta, which is a South Korean company, their stock went down by like $10 or something, or 10%. I forgot which one it was. It was by like a massive fucking amount, man.
Yeah, they dropped so bad, dude. They shit the fucking stock.
한국에서 자동 사냥을 제거하기로 결정했고 북미에도
NC Soft, guys. Check their stocks. Shit went to shitter.
The experience by a lot.
But they need all the money they can get. They need our help.
Nuance into pay-to-win mechanics. Fucking great in. Any premium.
And I don't mind if the game's good.
It's farmable is bad. Pay-to-win doesn't bother.
I want to test the game out.
Keep up with people in a not pay-to-win game anyway. I lose either way. Well, that's a great mindset. So this is the pay-to-win that I think is problematic. Okay, and I've made this graph, this thing before. Buy more, get more. This is where it's problematic. This pay to win is, in my opinion, completely fine. And in my opinion, also, it's necessary.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have a way for people to buy a battle pass or buy a subscription and get money, you can't monetize your game at all.
Exactly.
So you have to have this. This is the pay to win that's bad. And this is bad because a person who spends, like, let me just kind of make it simple from like a, just a logical perspective. If you spend $15 in World of Warcraft Classic and somebody else spends $15 in World of Warcraft Classic, you are on the same even playing field, right? Assuming nobody's buying gold or anything like that. You're on the same even playing field. Everybody's playing on the same level. But here's the difference. It becomes problematic when the person who spends $15 is weaker than the person who spends $50. And the person who spends $50 is weaker than the person who spends $150. And the guy that's spending $150 is weaker than the guy that spends $1,000.
Yep.
And it just goes on and on up to like a scale of like, I don't know, $10,000, $20,000, right? That is what pay to win is. That is bad pay to win.
Yep.
That is where I draw the line.
That's exactly what I was explaining. Okay, it's okay if like you pay to win to get like a few levels up, right? You know, it's like okay, whatever, right? You know, like you're paying to win to like buy battle pass subscription, whatever. I mean, in a sense, like for me, it's like it shouldn't be that much, right? Like you should get materials, whatever. Like battle pass, that's what they'll give you, like certain cosmetics, certain materials. It also funds your game, whatever, and everyone's getting the same stuff, right? No one's really like getting advantage of anything, right? But yeah, when it comes to this and you're buying more, like, oh, I'm gonna buy more mats and more pets and more this, and now this person who only has, let's say, description only comes with 2, 3 pets, guy bought 10 pets, and they can do more things and more efficient than these 2 pets, right? Farm more loot, more things, whatever, or yeah, that's the issue I was talking about. It's when someone pays a certain amount, like get a sword or something, and then they're automatically stronger, even though you guys are basically like both funding the game. Well, because they spending more money, they get a bigger advantage. I mean, like I said, like it should be like everything should be the same for but the only problem is like you said, there's a battle pass subscription, but there's also a growth pack. So, which is also like another subscription. So let's say the battle pass is $10, the growth pack is $10. That's like $20 every month, or every 2 months, or whatever their seasons. It's still like a good amount of money to be spending on a game every month. Versus, I know subscriptions are like $10, $5, $15, but not $20. I don't think, depending on what you're doing, I guess.
Line where like I will never value the integrity of a game that has that. Like, I literally do not give a shit about games that have that because you can just spend more money and you can just win more. It's that simple. Does Honkai have that? Functionally, yes. For like 99.9% of people, yes, it does. Everything, like, and you can easily say, well, everything has a limit. You can only spend $400,000. So, you basically... No, there's not really a limit. Okay. I would say like $1,000. Like, how about this as a benchmark? If a person spends $1,000, do they have a disadvantage against a person who spends $2,000? Very simple. If that is true, the game has bad pay to win. It's that simple. Now, if you have to spend $50 or something like that of a battle pass over like a year or something, like you buy 3 battle passes, that's not a big deal because they need to make money to maintain the game. But what's bad is whenever you can just keep spending more money and keep getting more powerful. Uncapped pay to win is the problem. Having subscription services and minor things that you can buy, especially in a free-to-play game, I think is totally fair. How do you guys feel about that? Are you guys on the same page with me on this or what? Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, I'm glad you guys see where I'm coming from. People defending shitty business ethics and pay to win because without these pay to win elements, they would be garbage at games. Do you agree with this statement? No. Honkai and Genshin have pay to win that makes you pretty much infinitely more powerful, but the challenge is easily beatable with no investments and needs no investments to surpass. You can buy an advantage. Why are you making it more complicated? It's that simple. You can spend like
a lot of money on the but all right. When it comes to Honkai, literally it's just like any other game. When it comes to gacha game, the more money you spend, the more chances you have of getting this crazy character. And when it comes to these gacha games, especially Honkai, if you get 5 of the same character, they can evolve and become even more powerful, right? And that's basically the whole point of it, is that if, like, oh, is it like one of those things that like you spend a battle pass on and you get 10 free things and everyone has the same amount and it's just like one little subscription that everyone pays for and to support the game, you could be free to play or you can buy the battle pass and everyone will get a certain amount of tickets from doing missions and those tickets will allow you to submit and it'll be like limited time within the event, and it refresh every time, so you'll still get like chances to like compete stuff, and it'll all just be based on luck.
My Jing Liu in Honkai Star Rail. Do you know what her critical strike damage is? 268%. I wonder how that happened. That's a lot. Yeah, that's bullshit.
Still plays Honkai.
So, it is what it is. Because I spent money on the game. And it made the game easier. That's it. 30 crit rate? Well, yeah, of course. Of course it's only 30% crit rate. Yeah. And that's bad. That's bad pay to win. That's the point, right? That's stupid. It shouldn't happen. It should not exist.
자동 사냥 제거 이후 저희의 대처는 크게 두 가지입니다.
That's true.
먼저 성장에 필요한 시간을 대폭 단축시켰습니다. 일전에 만렙까지의 성장 시간이 10분의 1로 단축되었다고 말씀드렸는데
Previously told
Leveling time to max character is a tenth of what it used to be.
So leveling got massively nerfed, basically. Massively fucking nerfed.
Damn.
자동
It's
사냥이
gonna take a
차지하던
fucking super long time to do it.
Auto hunting used to take up.
직접 컨트롤을 해야 하는 컨텐츠만 남겨두고.
And this is good because this is in my opinion, there is like it's like the autoplay paradox. If you need autoplay in the game, why is the content there to begin with?
Yeah.
You see kind of what I'm saying? Like, why have content that you need autoplay for it in the first place?
It's like a
Why
MOBA
not
game.
just take out the autoplay, take out the boring content that people just bought, and just have the game exist without that entirely.
Literally feel like a MOBA game. Like with the whole currency system and everything like that. I see like one of those games you play on mobile, little gacha, little mobile games. You just buy subscriptions and grow packs. You just keep getting money and money and money and level up. That's what it reminds me of a little bit.
도달할 수 있게 조정했습니다. 레벨 성장에 걸리는 시간이 결코 부담스럽지 않기 때문에.
Yeah, like the whole auto thing is like very mobile. Like that's what you do. You do autoplay ×2. Autoplay ×2, speed run everything. Play it while you're at work or you're just taking a shit or something. Whatever, Like it's not something you take serious, If you want a serious game that you want people to talk about and be engaged in the content, you can't put autoplay because that's just gonna make people just be like, all right, autoplay for 3-4 hours. I'm gonna go do something else. You know what I mean? Like no one's gonna really give a shit. And you want people to stream this, right? You want people to be on live and talking about the game. Then yeah, you can do autoplay because Honkai Star Rail that works, but when it comes to this kind of game, it's not gonna work.
하루에 한두 시간 정도 플레이하시는 분들도 한 달이면 만렙에 도달할 수 있는
45 to 60 hours.
두 번째는 컨텐츠의 재배열입니다.
Maybe 60 hours.
아껴두었던 컨텐츠들을 초반부로 옮기는 작업을.
You know how many days are in a month, sir?
아시다시피 TL은 오랜 기간 개발해온 게임이기 때문에 준비했던 컨텐츠들이 상당히.
This guy's lying? Wait, you think he's lying? Why is he lying? Wait, why you say he's lying? Did you play it? You just look at him, you know he's lying? I mean, need I say more, right? There it is. I played the tech alpha, autoplay was removed, but you still do the same thing manually, and it's a slog of gameplay. Great insight. Thanks a lot for that. Yeah, good to know. Very good to know. I believe you.
많았는데요.
Sure did? No, I know, I do believe him. I'm not being
많이 단축할 수 있었습니다.
I'm not being
자동
sarcastic.
사냥 삭제 이후 더 빠른 성장, 더 다양한 경험으로 성장 구간 컨셉의 변화가 있었습니다. 비접속 상태에서
You
게임에
can't play the
관여하지
game
못하지만
offline.
그 이상으로
Experience plenty of
접속
enjoyment
시간
while
동안
offline. While
풍성한
online. Oh
재미를
yeah.
느끼실 수 있을 겁니다.
That's
How
good
are you able to
because
change combat style in such a short period of time?
unless it's like story mode, it shouldn't be
초기
offline
개발
because
단계에서
it just
전투는
wouldn't make
개인의
sense, right?
액션에 초점이
The
맞춰져
whole point of
자유로운 움직임이 가능한 화려한 전투.
MMO is to be
하지만 이
online.
전투는
Your plans when
많은
playing
플레이어들이
what's
모여서
this?
플레이할 때 전략적인
Large group
그림을
players is too
만들어내기가 너무
difficult with this type of
어려웠습니다.
combat. Okay.
스포츠에서 한 팀으로 플레이할 수 없고 각자 개인 플레이만 하게 되는
Plays
그런
individually,
상황이라고
okay.
할까요? 그래서 방향성을 크게 전환해서 제약을 가하더라도 진영을 확실하게 구축할 수 있고 전략이 돋보이는 전투로 바꾸었습니다.
Okay.
그게 지난 베타 테스트에서 플레이하신 버전이었고 그
I love that. That's the version that was available from our last beta test, and we all know how that turned out. Yeah, it was fucking garbage.
결과는 다들 아시는 대로입니다.
I don't know why developers keep making these same stupid mistakes where they focus on trying to make things more strategic and tactical and realistic while making the game worse. It's always a bad decision. New World did the same thing. Just stop doing this.
Make it simple. You want some badass weapons to look good,
지금은 그 두 가지
some cool
방법에
graphics, some cool little animations. Like we're not gonna give a shit about this tactics because like if you want to play a strategy game, we play freaking Civilization or something like that. You know what I mean? Like yeah, we want to have some good parrying, some good dodging, some good combinations and things like that. But nothing like that'll make us have a headache over it. You know, it's something like we want to have like for me, like if I want to have like a good combat system, I'm gonna make combos that are small, but that are chain combos as well. So like if somebody did want to have a complicated combo, they can. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean you have like a crazy advantage. It just means that you probably just have a nice combination of flow. Doesn't mean it can't be broken, right? So they definitely shouldn't be like infinites, right? Where you just do one combination. You just nonstop just damage while the other person can't carry you, dodge, or interrupt your attack. You know what I mean? But I do believe that yeah. I mean, obviously you could probably counter that and redo your combo, but it's gonna take a lot of skill with that pair. Like that's what I would like. You know, like a nice system where you would have to dodge and parry a lot, and also do combinations. Because I feel like being able to dodge and the last second and block, you know, really good.
좀 중간점에
Between these two
있습니다.
extremes, okay.
일반적인 경우였다면 테스트가 끝나고 전투의 방향을 갑자기 선회하는 게 불가능했겠지만
Teleport anywhere.
Hold up. Normally, we were not able to do it. Normally, it would have been impossible to change our combat system right after testing. However, we were able to make fast changes due to underlying systems in place. Here, let me rephrase this. However, they were able to make fast changes due to the fact their stock went down massively. I guarantee you that this could have happened in any other game if the stock had gone down that much. They would have done it immediately.
Damn.
기반에 있는 시스템들이 있었기에 빠른 변화가 가능했습니다.
They couldn't do it, but they did it, yeah. Many types of raids, any difference between them?
TL의 레이드는 PVPVE와 PVE로 나눌 수 있습니다. PVPVE는 오픈필드에서 벌어지는 대다수의 레이드가 포함됩니다.
Okay.
Okay.
플레이어 다수가 함께해야만 공략이 가능한 보스와의 전투는 물론이고
Yeah, sure.
플레이어 간 견제도 신경 써야 하는
Yeah, like world bosses
복합적인 전투를 경험할 수 있습니다.
or raid bosses.
각 지역의 상징과도 같은
이거 봐,
필드보스
쉐이스.
레이드와 서버 단위의 플레이어가 모여야 하는 세계관 최강의 생물 아크보스가 여기에 해당합니다. 반면에 PV 레이드는 서로 간의 견제 없이 보스에만 집중할 수 있습니다.
Well, those are, I guess those must be the instances. Yeah, the guild raids are the instanced ones.
Okay. Definitely need to be in a guild.
Yeah, my Fortune 500 company told everyone we couldn't work from home for years because we couldn't support it. COVID hit, and everyone was working from home within a week. Yeah, keep in mind that every single thing that people say isn't possible is probably possible. It's always somehow possible.
레이드가 여기에 해당합니다.
It's like classic
전투의
WoW.
They don't.
변수량이
It's either they don't want to invest in
유령으로
the time
습득되는
and the energy
경쟁이
for it.
없어진 만큼
Mhm.
보스의
You know, they don't
난이도는
believe
조금
in
더 높은 것으로
themselves or
Yeah,
the
the good
project
raid
enough.
bosses are
필드
their force.
레이드와 길드 레이드 간 드랍되는 보상은 위상 차이가
Oh, really?
없습니다.
Wow.
한 가지 차이가 있다면 길드 레이드에서 드랍되는 보상은 거래소에 판매할 수 없고 유저에게 귀속되는 방식입니다.
Oh, that's actually really big. So wait, does this mean you can buy gold from the store and then buy
The world
items
bosses
like
are
raid
better.
gear from field bosses?
So you want to
Because
do both
that's
of
what
them?
It means, right? How does it not mean that?
Yep, good bosses all day.
Holy shit, guys. Hopefully I get sponsored to play this game. That way I can actually have fun.
Oh shit.
I'll just use the money and pay for all the good gear.
다양한 레이드의
Oh
구성,
damn.
필드에서
He's definitely paid to win.
빌드가 좋은 보상은
Dominant builds for Monopoly.
See, a lot of people do that. They were like, "Oh, I really don't want to pay all this money and then be a lot stronger to somebody." But if that gear is in the marketplace, they'll buy that fucking gear. I'm just telling you, like, 100%. Like those people, the same people that say, "Hey, you know, I don't like going from, you know, the more money you spend, the more, you know." But if you can spend your own money, go in the marketplace to buy all that gear, same thing, right?
Invest rewards. Okay, sure.
독식하는 걸 견제하고 상대적으로 약세인
Stable growth
길드도
path for relatively
안정적으로
weaker
성장할 수
guilds.
있는 루트를 확보하게 합니다. TL에서 레이드는
Okay.
대규모 콘텐츠의 중요한 한 축입니다. 그만큼 계속해서 보강해 나갈 예정이며 정말 재미있는 보스전을 기대하셔도 좋습니다.
Okay. Who is the target audience? People with money. People with money that like buying gear on an auction house.
제가 생각한 우리 게임의 타겟층은
There's a beautiful symbiotic relationship that exists between rice eaters and whales.
Oh damn.
That's basically what he's going to say. Yes, rice eaters and whales. The rice eaters farm for the whales eat the rice eaters, and then the rice eaters carry the whales. And they kill the mobs for the whales, and then the whales buy the gear. Racist? Oh, of course it's racist. I'm a huge racist. Everybody knows that.
Oh my. What is this?
광장에서 채팅하며 노는 거 좋아하고 채집이나 제작해서 파는 거 좋아하고 새해 길드끼리 모여서 게임
they're ready for all that.
해돋이 보고
I was not ready for all
모험을
that.
좋아하고 같이 사냥하는 거 좋아하는 그런 분들이요. PC MMORPG를 좋아하시는 분들이라면 분명 TL의 재미를 진하게 느끼실 거라 생각합니다.
I'm a fan of PC MMORPGs, yeah,
혹시
whatever.
MMORPG의 재미를 모르셨던 분들이라도 TL을 통해 알게 되면 더 좋겠고요.
Okay. Why don't you just targeted combat? Because people that play MMOs are old, slow, and stupid. And if you don't have targeted combat, they can't keep up.
Oh shit.
Simple answer there. I mean,
액션보다는 전략이 지배하는
strategy
게임을
by
만들고
action. Yeah,
싶었기
exactly.
때문입니다.
Hey. The jab.
저희는 빠르고 정확한 손동작보다는 우선 상황 판단과 선택이 중요하길 원했습니다. 단순하게 타겟팅이라고 해서 전투가 지루하다고 여기진 않습니다.
I believe targeted combat and slow
보다
combat boring.
역동적인 전투를
Yeah, I
거듭나기
agree with that.
위해서 지금도 여러 가지 시도들을 하고 있습니다. 기동성을 살릴 수 있는 다양한 이동 기술들, 전략적인 선택을 가능하게
Yeah,
하는
that's
상태
cool.
이상들,
That's like BDO.
전투의 양상을 뒤집을 수 있는 방어 기술들, 그리고 선택지를 늘리는 무기 조합까지 기대 이상의 재밌는 전투를 보여드리겠습니다.
Will the UI be improved? Yeah, the UI kind of sucks. They probably will improve the UI.
네, 쉬어가는 질문이네요.
Yeah.
모바일스럽다 지적받은 부분들은 전부 제거하고 있습니다.
Bro, I'm actually like I have to respect like the fact that they just address shit directly. We're working on removing all elements that were criticized as being too mobile-like.
I mean, hey, a lot of the things that they have been bringing to the table has been sounding very mobile. Which, like I said, maybe that's where they came from. Maybe that's where they came from mobile games a lot, and they succeeded a lot in that, and now they want to move forward something bigger. I don't know. I don't really know too much about this company, other than the fact that they're making this game. But Yeah. Definitely have to change that if you want to be it.
Yeah, there it is.
전반적인 게임성의 변화뿐만 아니라 UI도 PC 콘솔 플랫폼다운 게임으로 바꾸고 있습니다.
Why is it releasing on PC?
저희가 만들고 싶었던 세계는 살아 숨쉬는 듯 역동적인 변화가 있는 월드였습니다. 그것을 실현하기 위해서는 높은 난이도의 기술적 구현과 많은 컨텐츠 분량을 소화할 수 있는 플랫폼이 필요했습니다. 자연스럽게 답은 모바일이 아닌 PC로 귀결되었습니다. 모바일의 보편성에 기대어 더 큰 흥행을 노릴 수 있다는 건 알았지만 원하는 퀄리티를 위해 양보하지 말자는 마음이 개발진 모두에 공감되었습니다. 물론 편의적인 부분에서 모바일을 활용하려는 계획이 있었지만 아시는 바와 같이 베타 테스트 이후 모두 폐지했습니다.
Yeah, I'm okay with like a mobile app to like use an auction house or to like interface with like guild chat or something like that.
Yeah.
I think that's totally fine. Like WoW had that for a long time and it was okay. I'd be lying if bro, like this is too real. I'd be lying if I said that auto hunting wasn't a consideration for mobile devices. Yeah, there it is.
자동사냥 역시 모바일과의 연계를 고려하지 않았다고 하면 거짓말이겠죠. 하지만 이 선택이 근본적인 게임성까지 영향을 주게 되었고 지금은 초심으로 돌아가서 다시 바로잡고 있습니다. 지난 테스트가 유저분들이 원하는 PC MMORPG라는 것이 어떤 것인지 다시 깊게 고민하게 된 계기도 되었습니다.
Like, I don't know, it's like weird because like some of their answers, it seems like they're so authentic and like there's like a lot of integrity behind them. And then other answers are just like total bullshit, right? Where like you can buy gear from field bosses with a premium currency on the marketplace. Like what the fuck? So you can just buy gear? The fuck is this? Yeah, what is this? It's just like, why? Like, a game made for you, bro. The thing is, it's not fun to buy the gear. It's fun to manipulate and exploit the game and get the gear unfairly. Like, I don't like cheating. I like exploiting. Okay? I hate cheaters. It's about doing something that you're not supposed to do that's not necessarily against the rules and getting away with it. That's the fun thing. I'll give you an example.
Okay.
My character is level 200 and something in Starfield. I didn't farm those levels out by killing mobs. I exploited, but I didn't cheat. I didn't use any console commands. Yes, white-collar crime only. Exactly. Yeah, we don't want to have any serious, felonies. All we're doing is we're just doing a little bit of tax fraud, just a little bit, maybe just a bit of.
You still go to jail for that?
Embezzlement, like maybe just.
My God. Oh my God.
The system
just stop it.
Misrepresent things.
Just stop it.
But that's it. It's not really cheating. It's more just exploiting.
Okay. Sure.
Was it illegal? No, because I didn't get banned. I love exploiting. I hate cheating.
All right, good sir.
대규모 업데이트는 연 3회를
I mean, I've cheesed in certain raids. I can't even lie about that.
계획 중인 두 번의 대형 업데이트.
But not cheating, just cheesing.
첫 번째 업데이트.
Kind of like exploiting.
Looks nice.
솔랜드는 산악지대로 고조차가 심한 재밌는 지형을 가지고 있습니다. 평야지대가 많았던 런칭 시점에 두 개 지역과
Hey, there's a game in the bug, and it's a common bug that you know about, and everyone knows about it. You're not fixing it. I mean, hey, like you want to say exploit it.
Build windmills to generate electricity because they'll kill birds, and it'll affect like the ecosystem. Like I don't know if this is really true or not, but like knowing, like I feel like it probably is true. Yeah, I feel like that's probably true, right?
이동 방식을 경험하게 되실 겁니다. TL이 자신하는 바는 환경의 특징을 살린 상호작용입니다. 다양성 있는 지역 디자인 그리고 기믹을 이용해 플레이를 다채롭게 발전시켜 나가겠습니다. 업데이트 시기는 런칭 콘텐츠 소비에 따라 조절할 생각이고 저희 계산대로라면 빠르면 3개월에서 4개월쯤이 될 것 같습니다.
Yeah.
두 번째 업데이트는 드라코 지역 업데이트입니다. 드라코는 용족이란 특별한 종족이
Ooh.
아니라 여러 서버들이 지역을 공유한다는 특성을
Blue
가지고
Identity out from America.
최대 12개의 서버들이 영지를 차지하기 위해
12
다투게 될
servers?
텐데요.
What the fuck?
길드의 연합체 간의 전쟁을 드라코에서부터 경험하시게 될 겁니다.
Oh my god.
큼지막한 컨텐츠들 위주로 소개드렸지만 지역이 오픈될 때마다 새로운 보스와 지역 이벤트, 전용 오브젝트들을 만나실 수 있고 그 외에
Stop that.
무기의
New
추가와
weapons
생활
and-
컨텐츠 보강도 준비
Yeah,
중에
new
있습니다.
weapons are important. That way you can have more ways for the whales to buy new weapons. Very important.
여러분의 플레이가 고이지 않고 계속 흘러갈 수 있도록 노력하겠습니다.
Whale Wars, yeah. When will it be released? Okay, let's see it.
지금 시점에서 가장
Most
중요한
important question of
말씀이겠네요.
all. Okay.
스론 앤 리버티는
December
12월
7th.
7일 런칭합니다.
Isn't that whenever
오늘부터
Pearl
사전
Harbor
예약이
happened?
시작됩니다. 많은 참여를 부탁드립니다. 다가오는 지스타에서는 주요 컨텐츠를 보여드릴 수 있는 무대를 준비
Do you
중입니다.
think people would have live reacted and watched Pearl Harbor happening if it happened today and like Twitch streamers were able to live react to it?
For sure, be all
Yeah,
canceled.
for sure. Hassan would have? No, he didn't. No.
All right. Sorry about that. All right. Leading on.
Oh? Bro, didn't you see the interview? He doesn't react to breaking news. Guys, he doesn't do that. What's wrong with you, bro? Like you're gonna make that shit up about him? He literally said he doesn't do that. Plan to showcase their core content. And this is also, by the way, this is for fucking just Korea, right? It's not for America?
현장에서 게임의 완성도와
Yeah,
박진감을
it's just Korean.
느끼게
Okay, yeah,
되실
it's
겁니다.
whatever.
물론 게임이 런칭됐다고 다 끝은 아닙니다. 게임 내적으로는 더
Going all
훌륭한
in to
게임이
make the
되기
game
위해
even better. Yeah, of
개발에
course.
매진할 것이고 게임 외적으로도 풀어가야 할 과정들이 있다는 걸 잘 알고 있습니다.
Okay.
회피하지 않고 숨김없이 여러분과 함께
I
헤쳐나가겠습니다.
think they've done a pretty good job about being very transparent about the game. Like, regardless of whether you agree with the answers or not, I think they've been extremely transparent about what is and is not in the game. Like, and I'll definitely give them, like, credit for that. Absolutely.
지금처럼 여러분의 의견을 함께 나누는 시간도 더 늘려가겠습니다. 조금 더 연습해서 카메라에 익숙해지면 라이브도 도전해 보겠습니다. 조금만 기다려 주십시오.
Yeah, he's not ready to do a
긴
live
시간 시청해
broadcast.
주셔서 감사합니다.
Yeah, he probably saw, he's like, oh man, I saw that thing with those Lost Ark guys. Like, oh, fuck that. Like, I don't want to do that.
그럼 게임으로 만나 뵙겠습니다.
All right. I think that was relatively fair. Sure. Oh, shit, this is the new trailer. All right, let's see it. Emergency.
Yeah, move
The three bozos, yeah.
the camera. I didn't move the camera.
Wow.
I see other stream.
I love how I just say the word Hassan, everybody puts in their opinion about him.
Huh?
Like somebody asked.
Like somebody act. Right.
It's a magic word, yeah.
What is this? Purple sheet. Don't touch what you can't handle, girl. Don't touch it again. No! That she's gonna die.
What? This is
Turn from to a tiger. Ooh. Into a bird now. Fly into the city.
This is actually pretty good. I'm gonna be honest.
Turn into the city. Oga.
Yeah, this is cool.
I have what it takes to enter the world.
Oh, that's the thing we saw earlier.
Throne and liberty.
That's really cool.
Where is this? Why is this chat always like like it looks great? Yeah, it's all amazing. It looks like shit. It looks like shit. It's like okay.
Not cool, not gameplay? Oh, it's definitely not gameplay, but I don't really give a shit about that. It's still cool. Yeah, the trailer is still cool.
Being like cute girl.
Nice. That was decent enough. I mean, yeah, it took quite a while to get through everything. But yeah, I would say most of the answers and everything were pretty transparent. I'll be honest though, like with this stuff, talking about monetization and everything, I mean, let's be real. Like, I feel like the only part about this that made me really uneasy was the fact that they had premium currency that you could use on the marketplace. Being able to have a battle pass, who gives a shit about that? I don't care about that at all. But being able to have like premium currency that you can buy things and like things that are like very meaningful, like I do. Well, if you care about a battle pass, then you're being unreasonable and you don't deserve to be accommodated because you're just being stupid.
You're playing
Like,
stupid.
I get that you might not like something, but not every opinion is created equal. It's just a stupid opinion. Anyway, the point is that that's the thing that I don't like.
I don't like
is
battle
being
passes.
able to buy stuff
Well, then
on the
you're stupid.
marketplace with real money. I'll give you guys the link to the video.
I love that. I love that shit. Well, if you think battle pass is a dumb idea, you're just stupid. I mean, it's kind of, in a sense, kind of true. I mean, the game has to make money somehow. So it's either you buy the game outright, $50, $60, whatever the game is gonna cost, you know, or you're gonna spend $10 on a battle pass every month for a couple months, and if you like it, you'll keep paying the $10 every month. And yeah, it'll cost more than what the game actually costs, but if you enjoy a game and it's making you happy versus a single player game, there's some single player games you buy for 60, $70, some for 80, 90 if you want the deluxe edition, beat it in 2 weeks and it's done. Versus an MMO where you're spending $10 every month or whatever, and you're getting years, sometimes decades worth of content. That is just adds up, versus spending $60 every 2 weeks on a new game because either you beat the game too quickly or it just wasn't enough content. I mean, nowadays they're a little bit better with story games now where they have a lot of content and they have like DLC packs, so they can at least make them last a year or two. But back in the day, it wasn't like that. I mean, there's still some single players today that you can beat in a week or two, and that's what they're designed for. But we all know that it's good and bad because yeah, you can make a whole bunch of money upright from the game, but problem is this is if people are gonna continue to buy it afterwards. So like when it comes to single player games, their biggest come up is not how much money they make overall, is how much they make on the initial sale. Because that's what determines whether they have a successful game or not, and they can continue making more quickly. Or if the game is really that successful, they can just work on that game for 10, 20 years. Never have to work on another game.
Video there. Everything else seemed
Burger
pretty
games,
good.
basically.
I'll be honest. But it's like if people can just buy gear, then I think that kind of just like messes everything else up. No, just because you like something doesn't mean mine's stupid. Subs are the only fair monetization. Battle passes suck ass. Subs are the only fair monetization. Battle passes suck ass. Let me ask you something. What do you think the difference is between the two?
Right?
What's the difference?
Subscription is fine. Battle Pass is ass. That's the same shit. The fuck are you talking about? Yeah, that's pretty stupid. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how old they are, right? But obviously they created an account on 2011, right? And so they definitely have been older than, you know, they have an account for 14 years now, right? So really they're more than old enough. You know, they're probably 27 years old. And they're just saying stupid shit. I mean, it's pretty stupid.
Battle passes are on top of mandatory subs. This game doesn't have a mandatory sub. So what do you think about battle passes in this game? Maybe he's got a good point. Maybe he'll have a good point. Surely he'll have a good point, guys. If it doesn't have a sub, then it's fine. Oh, okay. So then battle passes are fine. Okay. Yeah, alright. I think best thing in games besides battle passes, you only buy cosmetics. You want in-game gold, you just sell the cosmetics for gold. Anytime that you can buy and sell gold. So a game battle passes
Admin just shits at everyone.
and players to do content with a timer in mind. Subs do not. Why do you make an argument that doesn't make sense? Why do you say something without even thinking about what the person is going to say after you say what you say? Okay, so there's seasons in World of Warcraft. If you don't sub during those seasons, don't those seasons have FOMO that you play? And if you don't play during those seasons, you don't get those items? So effectively, the season's FOMO that exists in the game organically functions as the same as a reward for a battle pass? The same as the trading post? The trading post literally is a battle pass. Like, please, if you're going to make an argument, think at least one step ahead.
They can't. They just type and enter. Type enter. Type enter.
Then make such a such a transparently stupid argument. In an MMO, yes. Well, yeah, of course it is. So, okay, so then you agree with me. Well, I'm not talking about every single game. Why would I talk about every game? We're not talking about every game. We're talking about this game. Not every MMO has seasons, though. Many MMOs have seasonal events. I would almost say most MMOs have seasonal events. Yeah. New World has seasonal events. World of Warcraft Classic.
At least all the new ones up to date nowadays.
Final Fantasy 14 has seasonal events. There's one going on.
I mean, what games have they're talking about? Back to the 90s, 2000s?
RuneScape has seasonal events.
I mean, what the hell are they talking about?
Seasonal events.
Like, what are they? Had they ever played an MMO?
You just, Jesus. People just don't even think whenever they say things, huh? I'll link you guys the video. It's from Throne Liberty official channel.
I appreciate.
They really don't. They don't even think at all, man. It's sad.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, this looks the buying stuff on the store, like, so like my excitement for this game was like, let's say an 8.5. Hearing that you can buy gear on the store, it goes to a 6. Yeah, it's like a 6.
Jeez.
That's what I would say.
Yeah.
Battle Pass is based around FOMO. A sub-based game doesn't have to be based on FOMO.
That's
a
true.
Battle Pass, however, does. doesn't have to. A battle pass doesn't have to fundamentally be. You're making arguments that don't make sense. You're creating an imaginary differentiation. Please stop trying to argue this with me if you don't know what you're talking about. Please. People have like this irrational hate for battle passes, and they love subscriptions, even though they function as the same thing in most modern games. A lot of dumb chatters today. Again, the battle pass Andes, anti-battle pass Andes, they're always the smartest gamers out there. 4 months.
Okay. Seen that 3 hours ago.
Since we last checked up on Throne and Liberty, this being the upcoming MMORPG that, while boasting quite a few interesting systems and features, unfortunately enough seemed primed for failure. After hosting a beta this past summer, reception was almost unanimously negative, a result of its poorly implemented combat, autoplay features tailored for mobile, and monetization that can make even Lost Ark or Black Desert blush. Interest and excitement for what at one point was one of my more anticipated upcoming MMOs quickly ground to a halt, which was a real shame because Throne and Liberty has some seriously cool features, boasting a massive seamless open world, 0 loading screens, instant fast travel, while also supporting tons of players simultaneously, and it all looks pretty good too. In fact, visually, I think the game is solid across the board, and from some of the raw beta gameplay that we saw, it has some great clarity and render distance, making the open world full of tons of players look all the more impressive. They've got the expected assortment of biomes, fantasy, and medieval-inspired MMO locations, with both PvE and PvP offerings. One of the more interesting features of Throne and Liberty, though, is how the weather and time of day directly impact the world, players, and enemies. So, for example, when it's raining, it'll fill up certain bodies of water.
That's cool. Like, you know, like, weather systems usually don't do that, but this is actually pretty cool. Like, they think you get a lake? Okay.
You can watch a small puddle turn into a pond. Also, certain enemies, say something like a fire elemental, will get debuffed when it's raining, making them weaker, while other enemies might get stronger. Player abilities are affected as well, so a mage's lightning shock might be single target most of the time, but during a rainstorm, it actually becomes a chain lightning, striking several targets. All of that.
That's actually pretty dope. I mean, to have weather have, you know, an effect on your abilities and the enemies is actually pretty cool.
Are just a few examples of what can happen during rainstorms, but the same is true.
I love rain.
So, for example, there will be
raining all the time for me.
Only show up when the sun is down, like skeletons or zombies or ghosts. Or there are dungeons that will only open when the moonlight hits it. And then beyond all of that, there are a few other really neat things about Throne and Liberty that include these world events where players and guilds compete to do whatever the objective is. To go along with its big, seamless, massive open world, there's tons of traversal features. And it also features a classless system where character abilities are based on what weapons you use and which skills you pick from those weapons. And that is just a list of some of what is neat and looks really cool about Throne and Liberty. However, as I just said, a beta test took place this summer and reception was not good. Not because any of that stuff that I just talked about isn't cool, because it is, but there were some other major glaring issues that bogged down the entire thing. For starters, combat felt bad, which is a pretty big deal considering it's what you spent a majority of your time doing. What was originally described as this hybrid action combat system turned out to be one of the worst implementations of tab targeting we've seen in a long while. Heavily rooted with no auto attacks and almost zero movement skills made the combat feel incredibly static and uninteresting by all accounts that I saw. Then beyond the combat, the second major issue was the fact that many of the game's systems seemed tailored for mobile, which was later confirmed to be the case by the developer. They said that they added those systems with the mobile version in mind. These included auto just about every aspect of playing the game. There was auto attack and skill use, auto combat, which they called astral hunting. There was also auto pathing or auto movement, and all of those features would come together in what was fully auto play offline mode mode where the game would just play itself while you were logged offline for up to 8 hours a day, although that was locked behind a paywall. Not surprisingly enough. Which then leads us into the final thing that people were not happy with, and that was monetization. Even just in the beta, the systems were clearly in place for what looks to be a heavily pay-to-win, or at least pay-to-skip game. Timers and energy systems with purchasable items to bypass both those limitations. Highly valuable daily quests that were paywall gated. If you don't buy the subscription, you miss out on a ton of extra resources, materials, and currencies. And then an auction house whose main currency is a paid-for premium currency. That's right, we're not talking about using in-game gold. It's the literal definition of paying for power in the game by buying powerful things with real money. It is for all of those reasons and others that despite the game having some really cool elements, it didn't matter. Feedback to this summer's beta was predominantly negative. Bad combat, mobile design, and their monetization plans made it so that nearly every discussion around this game was not good. Well, the developer NCSoft and the game's Western publisher Amazon,
tailored for whales.
Notice and
Hey,
said,
it was like a
"Hey,
game
we hear
tailored
you.
for
Thank
whales."
you for the feedback. We're going to make changes." Now, shortly after, they announced a global release would be delayed from what was planned for this October until sometime in 2024. In the meantime, between that delay and the new launch, they would be addressing all major issues raised by the community. They promised that they would be fixing combat, removing most, if not all, of the mobile design, and maybe they'd take a look at monetization to make it not garbage. Maybe. We'll see. All of this info was revealed during NCSoft's quarterly earnings call, which took place in August. This was basically them trying to stave off investor concerns, but at that point, all of the fixes that they were promising were just that, promises. They were just words that they were saying. We hadn't actually seen any of it in action. Well, as of today, that has changed. In the months since our last video, we have seen improvements to nearly every gameplay and system concern that Throne and Liberty had. Showcases from the developer, new gameplay videos, and hands-on impressions from people who actually got to try these updates in action.
I wanna
say
play.
that things have turned around. Gosh darn it, have they done it? Have they fixed Throne and Liberty? Possibly, at least. It seems like they have addressed, in fact, the major issue of combat and have removed most of the mobile features. As to the monetization, well, let's be honest here. It's still probably not going to be great. This is NCSoft after all, and they've got a reputation of pay to win to uphold, right? But they are promising it's not going to be quite as bad here in the West. We'll see how that all pans out. And for argument's sake, let's just say they do fix the game and you end up checking out Throne and Liberty when it releases. You might be interested in the sponsor of today's video, LG's latest Ultra Gear OLED gaming monitor, or the 45GR95QE.
Sexy
This
monitor.
is a massive monitor at 45 inches with a wide 21:9 aspect ratio and a curved screen. It is big, all-encompassing even, which is great for adding immersion to any MMO, such as Throne and Liberty. After using a widescreen myself, I cannot see going back to the standard 16:9 ratio. The extra screen real estate just does so much for making a play session feel more engrossing and immersive. I have loved it. Now, the many list of this monitor's features include being the world's first 240Hz OLED gaming monitor with a 0.03 ms GTG response time. It's got an OLED display with self-lit pixels, making for great color quality, and an anti-glare low refraction screen that is very thin thanks to being OLED. And it just so happens to turn out you can get this monitor or any of their 4 other models available in a range of sizes for a nice discount thanks to their Black Friday sale. This will be running from November 23rd through to the 27th at select retailers such as Best Buy and Amazon, and the sale will continue even longer, lasting until December 3rd over
Wow,
at
they're not bad
LG.com. If you'd like
prices.
to learn more and check out LG's gaming monitors for yourself, go ahead and use my link in the video description below. But now let's get back into Throne and Liberty. As mentioned, we have seen a lot of improvements for the game over these past few months, and let's just take a look at what exactly they have done. For starters, yes, they are fixing the game. It appears
Look at
like
that
they've addressed
aquatic.
many of the biggest
It's really cool.
concerns and points of
You can
feedback
swim.
from the beta. Combat, for one, is no longer completely 100% static. I can't believe it, but they've changed it to make it fluid and just more like a modern day tab target system. They have added auto attacks you can do on the move and changed it so that most abilities now have some built-in movement to them. So that situation during the beta where players would have to stand stand literally totally still to do any damage is no longer going to be the case. Now, there will, of course, be some abilities and skills that do require you to stand still. That is normal in any MMO or RPG. Typically, you will be sacrificing mobility for impact, whether that's harder hitting single target attacks or massive heals or casting area of effect abilities. Those are the sort of situations
if people don't
where
see
skills
that,
might require you to stand still for a duration.
But
and
would you do a combo or do a certain
design,
sequence of
now,
movements
at least
or
in Throne and Liberty,
attacks,
standing
you
still
gotta
is
stand
no
still.
longer going to be the default
You can at least
for
move and
99.9% of your attacks. Combat should just feel much better. In addition to adding more freedom of movement while in combat, they have also removed character collisions in everything outside of PvP encounters. They have minimized player inertia when changing direction to make movement feel more responsive and tight. They've added more area of effect and cone attacks that players can perform without having to have direct targets. And they've also said that they are working on making weapon swapping feel more fluid as well. Now, the folks over at Mine MMO went hands-on with this update and checked out this latest stuff at this year's Gamescom, of which they confirmed that combat felt significantly better, saying, even after the adjustments to combat, Throne and Liberty is not an action MMO. You do select targets with the tab key, and your character performs the normal attack automatically. You don't even have to press anything. However, the animations are smoother, and a lot can now be done and used in motion. Overall, my interest has increased massively due to the changes of combat and autoplay. So yes, the combat on the move, it's not full-on action combat. It's not even a hybrid action combat system like, say, Guild Wars 2 or ESO. It's a tab target one, but it's a tab target one that feels much more modern day with a lot more movement to it and shouldn't be nearly as static as what we saw in the beta. Now, as for the mobile systems, basically all of the autoplay features, Amazon has completely disabled every single one of them for the Western release. So the auto combat, known as astral hunting, where you click a button and AFK, that's gone. The auto travel, where you click a part of a map and the game moves for you, that is gone. And the fully offline autoplay mode, where the game plays itself when you're logged off, all of that is gone, at least for now, because they have said they will monitor this decision and might re-implement some of the auto combat or auto play based on player feedback. Look, the biggest problem and the biggest concern with auto combat in particular is how much the existence of this feature impacts.
I think auto travel is not too bad.
Things like the
I wouldn't mind is like
level up your character,
auto travel
skills, which are leveled by use in this game, the amount of currency that you get, etc. Basically anything that requires playing the game and is time gated in some sort of way, the time required to progress is likely to be inflated if the game has an autoplay feature, because hey, while you're not playing, you could just let the game run and grind, farm, and level up for you. This can make it so that the progress you do get while actually playing the game feels slow and far too extended out, and that was actually one of the biggest points of feedback from the beta, is that the game seemed very, very grindy because it has and was designed with autoplay in mind. Now, grinding is pretty much a part of any MMO, be it leveling your character, leveling combat skills, gathering resources for crafting, materials, all of it is
we say we want the grind, but then when the grind comes
in the grind for any aspect,
we'll be like, oh, I wish I could put the auto. That's why they saying that decision's on hold, because once we start grinding it and we start testing it out for ourselves, we're gonna really decide whether or not we want grind or not. That's basically it. Like, yeah, we probably got it right the first time, but you know, they feel like confident that they're right about it, and that we're gonna eventually change it back
of an MMO or an RPG, and making it so that it feels rewarding and not too punishing and not overly grindy. That is vital, and the presence of auto anything can really mess that up. I'm really not so concerned about auto travel. If you want to let us click on the map and have our characters auto path to a destination, that is fine, but I think auto combat really,
he said this in there and said
really hurt the feeling of progression when you're not. I think auto combat really can really on the map and have our characters grindy. That is vital, and the presence of auto anything can really mess that up. I'm really not so concerned about auto travel. If you want to let us click on the map and have our characters.
Same thing I just said. Auto travel is completely fine, because if it's gonna take us an hour or two to get to the end of the map, realistically speaking, come on, we can go take a piss, we can go take a break, and just auto travel to the next town. It's not that serious, right? It's not like we're really like. We're progressing that much. You know, we're just going to the next town and it's taking us 20 minutes to get there. You know what I mean? Like, regardless, we're going to have to sit there and stare at the screen for 20 minutes. Why force us to sit there where we can just go take a piss, do whatever, and just auto travel there? I'm completely fine with that.
There's auto path to a destination, that is fine, but I think auto combat really can really hurt the feeling of progression.
That's
when
botting
not
for you
using
at that
auto
point.
combat, and it
You
can
can
put a lot
bot the shit out of the
pressure on
game.
players to use auto combat and keep their computers running 24/7 as a result. And I'll say personally, I just really dislike when games have this feature for that reason. Now on to monetization. Now this one is a little tricky.
Like auto
Amazon
fishing.
has stated that there will be no pay to win in the global version of Throne and Liberty. The problem is that everyone has a different standard and definition of what qualifies as pay to win. At the very least, we do know, and they have said that they won't be selling the token that unlocks that 8 hours of offline auto grinding every day. And as I just mentioned, at least for now, they've removed any of those autoplay features. But what about the rest of the cash shop? Well, it doesn't look exactly great here. In a recent showcase for the game, it was revealed that the basic player auction house, where you buy and sell items with others, one of its forms of currency is the premium currency. Yes, the one that costs real world money in order to buy, that can be used in the player auction house. And another thing to keep in mind is that Throne and Liberty does feature a gear upgrade system where you start with a base piece of gear and then you rank it up, going +1, +2, +3, +4, all the way up to +12. It goes higher and higher and it gets stronger and stronger along the way. But also, the higher you get, the more likely that piece of gear upgrade is to fail. And you betcha, they are almost certainly going to be selling the items required to reduce that fail chance, just like it's done in Lost Ark, just like it was done in ArcAge and Black Desert Online. Pretty much every game that has gear tier upgrade systems like this will sell either the resources to make those upgrades or special items that reduce the chances to fail as you get into those higher tiers.
This is an MMO I can just play and grind.
That will be here in this game as well. Although we have at least learned that for Throne and Liberty, failed upgrades won't break or degrade your gear, so that's nice, I suppose. On the plus side as well, it was revealed that the game will not feature any loot boxes or gacha mechanics, and instead will be focused on selling battle pass subscriptions, cosmetics, and auction house transactions, as we just mentioned. Although this doesn't rule out that there could be some pay to win and pay to skip features, especially with whatever's tied into the auction house. No gacha is nice, but we do know as well that they're going to be selling pets that auto loot for you, which likely is going to be something you want, as it was in Black Desert Online. Looting manually, clicking on every single character was a pain. They don't have area automatic auto loot like say they do in World of Warcraft or a lot of MMOs, but they will sell pets that will do the auto looting for you. These can be purchased for real money. Likely there will be some unlockable in the game. We'll have to see where they fall in terms of how good those pets are, how many of them you can acquire, how effective they are the paid pets better looting? Probably, but not necessarily. It's not a guarantee. I will say though that with the combat and the mobile,
I think it's the same. It'll be the same. Just
at this
you have
point,
more of them.
It does look like the game's microtransactions and monetization system is likely to be
like a premium one.
Pain point, the biggest
like area
issue
level
with
4.
the game, and I don't necessarily expect that's going to change. I think even if the combat felt perfect and everything else was addressed and it didn't feel like a mobile game, and all those systems that I'm so excited about, those come through and really shine, even with all of that being the case, I do suspect the monetization, like a lot of games, will end up dragging the total experience down, which really is such a huge bummer because I envision a world where this game, where Throne and Liberty comes out, the combat's great, all of these awesome features and open world and the seamlessness and all the players and the PvE encounters and the PvP encounters and the open world dungeons and all this stuff, that whole package of the playing the game experience sounds amazing. And just imagine if the garbage cash shop wasn't also tied into it to have a killer game. We could potentially have a really amazing game, but that's not what's going to happen. And I think for that reason, eventually the fatigue will set in with how the monetization is tied into progression, is tied into the end game, is tied into what the season pass, how the monetization interfaces with the gameplay experience will likely
kill
be
everything. You gotta think about like some people really don't like pay to win, right? And if you allow people to use real money to buy things off the marketplace, pay for power, like he said, and it just like I said, you can be. I mean, I don't know how it's gonna work. I hope that it's gonna be level capped. Like you can't use weapon unless you're level 50. But obviously they're gonna have to grind to level 50, right? So I feel like pay to win can only work if you actually play the game. You know, like it should only work if you actually play the game. Like, oh, you have to at least below 50 to buy this weapon, right? Like that's the only way I should feel like that should be like things like that, right? But like if you're playing the game a lot, you decide you want to like. I mean, obviously, like they can make a lot of money just from battle passes, you know, and $10 from everybody. They can make a lot of money just from that and the grow package and everything else. Like they don't really necessarily need to have whales to buy stuff off the marketplace. I know like that's what Lost Ark. I think they do that a lot. But they capped it to a certain degree. But I feel like that's what like you're gonna turn off a lot of people from the West. Nobody likes that. You know? Like okay, let's say if you are level 50, you spend 1,000 hours in the game, you level 50, whatever. Um, like I'm not gonna be that mad if you are grinding, and let's say you are trying to get some really cool weapon, but you're not getting any luck out of it, and some guy happen to want to sell something that he doesn't want because he doesn't want to switch his class, and he wants to make some money to change into a new class, and you want to buy it, and you don't really necessarily have the money right there and then, but it's gonna take another 500 hours to get it, but you don't want to miss a chance of losing out on that weapon. So there's an option to spend real money to get that weapon right there and then, and you feel like if you don't get it right there, you'll never get it. I feel like in those circumstances, it's understandable, right? Because like you've been grinding for months for this, and you can't get it, and now they give you this viable option to do it. You're gonna take it, right? For the most part. I don't know, but that's just me. Like you've been playing the game for months, a year, and you still can't get this cool freaking weapon maxed out, and someone else is selling it. You're probably gonna buy it. Because you want to beat this raid boss, because you're not doing enough damage, whatever. I don't know.
Eventually wears people down and pulls them away from the game, as we've seen time and time again. But yeah, I'm excited to play just for all of those features, to check out all of that content that sounds so awesome. That is really what will keep me around for at least a few weeks, until I'm sick of seeing like failed upgrades because I'm not gonna buy the reduced chance to fail on my gear. Just not happening. Now, we have learned some other new details and features about the game over these past few weeks. These were revealed through various events, interviews, live streams, and developer videos. Starting with PvP. So we know that the game is going to have PvP, but they have shifted to more of a PvE focus. Instead, now there will be certain zones that are flagged for PvP every couple of days. Outside of that, the open world zones will be mostly PvE most of the time. So it seems like generic open world PvP, ganking, all of that stuff isn't going to be as commonplace as we were initially led to believe, and as the game was initially designed. But they have said PvP is still going to play a big role. There will be certain world events and bosses where PvP will happen. These events will be marked by this ring, and so long as you don't enter PvP, ganking, all of that stuff isn't going to be as commonplace as we were initially led to believe, and as the game was initially designed. But they have said PvP is still going to play a big role. There will be certain world events and bosses where PvP will happen. These events will be marked by this ring, and so long as you don't enter the ring, you won't be flagged and marked for PvP. But things like the idea of having unrestricted free-for-all PvP with 0 consequences whenever the sun went down at the nighttime, that was originally a plan and something they talked about. That, for example, has been removed. But despite these changes, yes, NCSoft has stated that PvP is still a big focus. There will still be a ton of PvP content, both small and large scale. It's just less all-encompassing and more clearly indicated, so people who want to avoid it will be able to avoid it. We got some info on progression, specifically as a result of them moving all of those auto features. They made
they took away that. I didn't know that they even. I'm just tuning into Throwing Liberty now, but yeah, the fact that they took away the night PvP is actually a good thing, because let's say you want to say you're stuck in a certain area and it just happens to become nighttime. You don't want to just be forced into PvP, because you don't want to stop playing and you get to the next town to get safe or whatever, because you know you want to get safe from PvP or whatever, but you can't make it in time. You get forced into PvP and then die a whole bunch of times, and I don't know, maybe it doesn't look good on your stats, or maybe just griefing you and you don't feel good about it, right? You're making waste materials and stuff to revive yourself. I don't know.
A lot of changes to how progression works in the game. These include significantly reducing the amount of experience required to level up, significantly increasing the experience rewards for major activities, events, and quests, adding more non-grinding missions, reducing the amount of time it takes to level up, reducing the resources and materials required for crafting and enhancing equipment, and adding more group-focused content such as dungeons that require people to actually be playing the game instead of just mindlessly grinding in the open field. And as discussed in that autoplay section, this is exactly what I was talking about. Because they had autoplay grinding, which meant auto leveling up and auto getting resources and farming currencies, they added extra buffer to all of the systems, requiring more resources for crafting, requiring more experience for leveling, requiring more currency to purchase things. They've toned all of that down in response to removing the autoplay features. If that's not as clear of an example as how autoplay can impact a game's progression system, I don't know what is. I mean, that's a clear-cut amends of it, and I'm really glad to see they've taken out autoplay and they've reduced everything basically across the board to compensate for that.
I mean, regardless, the biggest issue still will be the monetization. Even if they took and fixed all these issues, that big issue will still be there.
We saw quite a lot. We got a pretty extended look at the combat system, the new improvements in action. I have to say, just even at a glance, this looks massively better than it was in the beta. As discussed earlier, it is more fluid, there's a lot more movement, and it feels and looks a lot more engaging. They also showed off some solo boss fights in what is called Tydale's Tower. That is like the boss tower climbing solo thing. They've showcased the improved UI, which is designed, they said, to look less mobile in response to beta feedback. They showed off some group dungeons focused on challenging encounters balanced for 6 players that they said will require the classical holy trinity of a tank, healer, and damage dealers. And they even showed off a few different large-scale guild boss events.
They're gonna be a
and
tank
that's pretty
healer.
Much everything that's happened over the past few
I do
months
definitely
since the
sword and
last time we talked
shield.
about Throne and Liberty. And can I just say
Great sword.
How relieved I am
Healer.
to hear that these changes have been implemented so quickly, and at least based on some early hands-on impression, they actually have been done pretty well. Now, we're going to be finding out pretty soon exactly how well this stuff was executed, because the Korean version of Throne and Liberty is launching in just a few weeks, but only in Korea. As of now, the Western release is planned for sometime in early 2024, but no specific window or date has been revealed. There's a good chance, I think, that we get further details next month at the Game Awards, as this does tend to be where we see a lot of developers and publishers come out with big announcements, and since they are planning early 2024, I wouldn't be surprised if Amazon has a more specific window in mind. That almost doesn't matter, because yes, once the Korean version launches, you are going to be seeing gameplay, you are going to be getting feedback and reactions, which is everything that we were basing our impression on this game originally, because it was a Korean beta test that took place that didn't have an NDA. It's really, we're just like 2-3 weeks away from actually knowing how Throne and Liberty turned out. Again, the most important things to me are that the combat is a lot better, and the removal of those mobile features of all of that auto stuff, and then the rebalancing of the progression that comes as a result of that. I'm not expecting much from the monetization, and as I mentioned earlier, if anything, I'm just expecting it to be as bad as we expect it. Now, no gacha and no loot boxes is great, but with that tiered level gearing system, with the auction house taking a premium currency, with the sale of looting pets, there's going to be a lot of that crap, and a lot of the stuff that you see from so many Korean developed MMOs. It's just kind of par for the course. They're reining in some of it for the West, and there will be some differences between the Korean and global release of the game. I'm assuming a lot of it will carry over, if not for when the global version originally comes out, probably for a few weeks, months, or years after it happens. But maybe at that point, a lot of you won't care anymore, because you will have had your fun during the launch window, and that, if nothing else, is what I'm most looking forward to. I will jump in at release, I will play it. I'm looking forward to checking out the content that I went over in pretty big detail about what I'm excited about. There's so many cool things about Throne and Liberty. It will almost certainly be bogged down by the cash shop. I'll just ignore that and stop playing once it becomes a major problem. That is my current plan. It's too bad that we don't live in the world where that isn't an issue, and we could just be excited about this game without any caveats, but that's just not the reality, if I'm being perfectly honest. But that's going to do it for this update. Thank you for watching. All in all,
Yeah, I mean, no, I agree. You know what I mean? Definitely something that agree on. You know, like that currency is gonna be definitely something that's gonna win it for a lot of people. You know what I mean? All right, let's see here. So I watched the first 3 videos there. Um, oh, Canon. All right.
Yo, this
이제
looks
그 가공
good.
석상에서 물이 나는데 그 물로 이제 씻어야 되는.
와 지금 내려왔어요.
Oh.
자 시작됐습니다. 자 쌈 나왔어요.
Yo.
Live gameplay.
NCSoft's Korean YouTube channel just released this this video. I guess they were showcasing Throne and Liberty at the G-Star event in Busan, day 3. I heard there's some good footage here that's worth reacting to, so let's watch.
가겠습니다.
가보자. 자, 시작이 됐습니다. 일단 어쨌든 무기 시스템이 여러 가지를 활용할 수 있다.
Okay, so this is the two-handed.
양손건과 그리고 활 이런 것들을 동시에 지금 계속해서 스위칭을 해주고 있는 모습이에요.
그렇죠. 자,
Okay, this
그리고
doesn't
이렇게
look bad.
움직임까지 맞춰나가야 되는데, 자 미로예요.
Whoa.
미로가 이제 생기면은
네.
시간 내에 저 미로를 빨리 빠져나가야 됩니다.
네.
보시면은 이제 중앙에서 광역 공격들이 이제 시작되거든요.
네.
그렇죠.
시간 내에 빠지지 못하면은
Bro, this is literally one of the same mechs that Lost Ark had in Brel.
네.
네, 빠르게 빠져나가기 위해서 폼을 좀 바꿨어요.
이게 야성 변신으로 이제 좀 질주를 하면서
It's like instant to him.
Okay.
문신까지.
그래서 이제 바로 달려들면서 무기를 교체하면서 계속 싸우고.
지금 보라색으로 이렇게.
Ooh, that was a nice parry there.
Great sword.
이제 방어를 하면은 추가적인 효과를 얻을 수 있는 스킬입니다.
네.
That'll be something I want to do.
사람 상대를 밀쳐낼 수가 있네요.
예, 맞습니다.
다시 야성 변신을 통해서 빠져나가는데 기 찾는 것도 굉장히 좀 어려울 수가 있을 텐데.
이게 이제 미로가 반복될수록 이제 점점 미로가 복잡해지기 때문에 조심하셔야 됩니다.
We say the more it goes on, the more like the
제한된 시간에 이제 빠르게
I guess the more difficult it gets.
반복이 될수록 미로는 계속해서 반복이 된다. 예.
좀
그러나
복잡해지고
미로가 점점 더 복잡해진다.
I mean, like being able to
Yeah,
move
the
out of the
mechanics
way,
just get a little
dodge,
more
parry.
There's the parry. I thought that parry system was always pretty good.
이후에 마무리까지. 와, 여러 가지 패턴들을.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't look bad. It actually really doesn't look bad.
돌파해 나가는 그런 재미가 좀 있겠네요.
I mean, obviously, if you're looking at it from the perspective of like, hey, I want action combat, Black Desert is the standard, this is not that. But this looked pretty decent. Pretty good. Not too bad. All right, so he's going ranged here.
자, 시작됩니다. 자, 이제 원거리에서 자, 공격 계속 퍼붓고 있고요.
I don't like how he's not moving.
오른쪽에서 불꽃이 나오고 있을 때
그러네요.
Okay.
불꽃을 나중에 잘 이용해야 됩니다. 지금은 잘 피해야 되고요.
아까 11층이랑
So you're supposed to dodge that little fire thing that comes in.
두면서 이 패턴을 읽어야 되죠. 자, 들어오는 건 방어 스킬 통해서 지금 받아치고 있어요. 자, 이제 옵니다. 불꽃 와요.
지금 방어로
He's like, oh, the fire's coming! The fire! You better fucking miss that. You better be able to dodge that stupid fucking thing.
자, 쭉쭉 불꽃 계속.
Look at the slowest. I guess it gets more difficult as we go.
보시면 이제 광역 패턴 쓰는데 지금 이렇게 소용돌이랑 겹치면은 공중에 뛰어오를 수 있게 됩니다.
Okay, so if you get hit by it, you knock out.
예.
Oh, whoa!
오른쪽으로 착지를 해서 떨어뜨려야 됩니다.
Oh, interesting.
뭐 피자 모양으로
So it actually knocked him up in the air, and he was able to dodge the ground AoEs, I think.
엄청나게 있는 거군요.
예, 죽죠.
아, 죽는 거죠.
This is PvE, PvP. No, this is PvE content. It's like a tower content.
피해야 되고 이렇게 핵심 패턴들을 읽어내야 되네요.
예, 맞습니다.
네. 그리고 세력 지금 빠진 상황에서 자, 앞으로 달려들고요.
네.
Ooh, nice little backstep there.
다시 왔어요.
Little shadow step, brother.
쪽으로 왔어요.
불차자.
회오리랑
소용돌이
자, 뛰어야죠.
탔습니다.
네. 자, 이제 활공 방식 통해서
Okay.
와, 굉장히 무시무시해요.
근데 이게 그럼 왜 소용돌이를 타는 건가요? 라고 하면 어쨌든 폼을 변신하기 위해서 그러는 거잖아요.
Okay, one of the good things I like about this so far is that
딸리는 것을 맞으면 안 되기 때문에
this gameplay, it does look like it's designed for PC, right? I'm not gonna say this looks unbelievable. Looks pretty decent, but at least it doesn't look like it's designed for the mobile devices, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, dungeon, party dungeon.
되고요.
네. 그래서 이제 파티 플레이를 좀 준비하고 있는 여기 개발자님들 지금 모습이 지금 보이고 있어요.
Okay, so you're setting your skills here. So you set like your skills for your two weapons that you use. I guess you're supposed to choose your role here too, like DPS, tank, or whatever. You get 12. You get 12 active skills,
그래서 이 세팅 장면까지
8
보여드리고
passives.
나가볼라.
He's asking if like, can we just go 5 DPS instead of like a tank if we really wanted to because we're strong? He said, yeah, you can.
자, 한번 가보죠.
출발합니다.
Sure.
이거 유튜브는 이렇게 변신해서 날아가는 모습이 너무 멋져요. 자, 여기는 삼각 기둥들이 이렇게 만들어져 있는데요.
예, 지금 보시면 이제 바닥에 이제 균열이 같은 게 있어요. 빛나는.
그러네요.
저 균열에 이제 닿으면은 스턴이 걸려요.
He's saying you'll get stunned if you stand in the yellow little light thing on the ground. Okay, I mean this just looks like pretty standard PvE dungeon stuff, you know? Well, it looks pretty good. Ooh, nice little parry effect there. That's good.
Everything looks good. You know, doesn't look like a bad game so far. Like I said, the monetization is the only thing that's gonna be bad.
Red thing. Oh, so like poop. You gotta take poop out. Okay. So someone gets marked and you gotta take the shit out. Okay. Pretty standard PvE mix.
지금 보시면은 균열을 끄는 장면이 잠시 나와요. 균열을 꺼줘야지 이제 그 브레스가 이제 180도 정도 돌기 때문에 예, 그 이제 피하려면은 미리 균열을 꺼줘야 됩니다.
아, 그러니까 내가 이 균열을 그냥 넘어가고 싶다고 넘어가지는 게 아니라 저런 식으로 펜트를 해주고 그리고 넘어가야 되는 거군요.
You gotta do. Okay, you'll be able to see. Like the guy does like a 180 attack, and he's talking about things that you have to turn off so that you can cross the light. I think is what he's saying.
그러면 협동조합이 진짜 굉장히 필요하겠습니다.
Because you'll get stunned if you touch the yellow light, right? So I guess there's a mechanic in here where you have to turn off, where you've got to switch some type of lever on. Okay, so someone that's marked yellow or purple. Okay, so the purple guy is marked, and he does a 180 attack from the purple guy. I think that's what he's saying. And then someone else has to. I think someone else has to turn something on or off to be able for the teammates, for the party members to cross over the yellow. Something like that. Maybe not. Maybe it was just the guy that was in purple. Regardless, I mean these are basic PvE mechanics. You know, that's nothing crazy, but looks pretty good.
지금 보시면 이제 보스 피가 이제 빠지기 시작하면서 더 광역 패턴을 좀 더 자주.
Good morning, Lovebug.
이제 붉은색 같은 것도 2개씩 쓰게 되고요. 브레스도 이제 2번씩 연달아 쏘기도 하고 그렇습니다.
Okay, so this guy's marked.
다르면 다를수록 애가 좀 더 광폭해지는 이런 느낌이네요.
Okay, so I don't know if someone turned something off for that yellow line to go off, or if it's just part of the mech. But obviously, the person that's marked purple is going to have to create enough space, right?
체력이 많이 빠지고 있어요. 더 강해진다는 말씀인데, 여기서도 브레스.
브레스 이제 2번 연속이죠.
Oh shit, Gio, they fuck.
Oh, sorry about that.
Ooh. Okay, he goes away.
자, 그래도 이제 파편대 전원 생존 중.
좀 시연하시는 분들도 긴장했나 보다.
제가 그거 여쭤보려고 그랬거든요. 원래는
This looks a lot better than when I first saw it. Yeah, it does. This looks a lot better.
더 강력해져요.
예. 자,
집중력. 클리어할 수 있나요?
네, 거의 다 잡았습니다 이제.
예, 잡았어요.
거의 다 잡아낸 것 같아요.
폭퇴 찔러놓고 마무리. 필랄라까지 하나 잡아주나요?
Dude, even the skill effects look pretty good. This looks pretty good.
잡아냈습니다.
와, 진짜 중간중간에.
The final gameplay. Okay, guild content. Raid. Guild raid content.
보스는 아크 보스 테벤트입니다.
Arc boss
필드에서 펼쳐지는 레이드와
Tedent? What did he say his name?
길드 레이드는 이제
Trent?
길드원들끼리
So there's gonna be, there'll be like field bosses, but you know, not every guild's gonna be able to do field bosses. So this is something that every guild can do. Okay, there's a pattern where he's gotta attack the right arm. There's another thing where someone gets debuffed. Yo, this looks good. Oh. Yo. Okay, I love seeing shit like this. I hope this is actually pretty challenging. So they need to target the right arm, is what he's saying. Bro, this looks really cool. Dude, like, bro, guild content, guild raid content. We need to see more of this type of shit in the game, man.
예, 맞습니다. 오른쪽에 이제 테벤트 오른쪽 팔 쪽에 서서 공격을 하면은 자동적으로 이제 팔이 타겟팅 돼가지고 팔을 공격하게 됩니다.
그래서 오른쪽 팔이 공략하게 위치도 그쪽 방향으로 전부 다 잡아서
예,
오른쪽 팔이 공략하고 있네요.
네.
야 이렇게
자,
점프!
점프!
자 바로 뜨면서 이 착지 부분도 신경을 좀 많이 써줘야 되겠네요.
예,
근데 점프했을 때 다 같이 새로 변신을 했단 말이에요. 이유가 있나요?
새로 변신 안 하면은 이제 낙사 이게 낙사됩니다.
아,
Okay, so if you don't, so she was asking why everyone, okay, this is the debuff. Oh, they're getting rid of their debuffs by washing off in the water. Okay, I got you. And the reason why they're saying, she asked why every time everyone gets knocked up, why they're changing or morphing into the birds, and he was saying that you have to, otherwise you'll get like knocked down when you land. So so that's part of the mechanic. Like when you get knocked up like that, you're gonna have to transform so that you don't get knocked down.
예, 맞습니다. 저 작은 게 이제 그
Right there,
체력입니다.
transform.
그래서 체력을
There it is. Yo, this looks pretty good, man.
공략하고 있는 모습인데요.
This looks pretty good. This looks pretty damn good.
아예 밟아 플레이어들을 밟아버리기도 하네요.
피해야 됩니다.
네.
그리고 중앙으로
다시 한번 점프. 그러면
다시 한번 변신.
This looks fun, man.
같은 경우는 사실 테벤트가 땅에 착지할 때
네.
바닥에 진동 데미지가 있어요. 그래서 이제 플레이어가 점프를 해서 바닥에 지면에 닿지 않고 있으면은 저렇게 튀어오르지 않습니다.
So he's saying that mech right there, you won't actually get knocked up in the in the air if you time the mech properly by jumping right when he lands on the ground. Then that's like the flawless execution to that mech. You're supposed to actually dodge it by jumping.
위에 보라장판 위에 올라오는데요.
저게 이제 오른팔로 쓰는 이제 십자
Real time action. That's good.
저게 이제 팔이 부서지면은 반응 패턴으로 나타나게 됩니다.
지금 팔 체력 많이 떨어지고 있어요. 자, 그럼 오른쪽 팔 전체적인
They're just still trying to take that right foot down, or that right arm down.
와 멋지네요.
I like, dude, that's good, man. Dude, the skills look very impactful from the boss. The effects and the attacks they look very impactful.
예, 지금
비가 와요?
아까부터 비가 오고
Oh, and the rain's
있어가지고
coming.
해자에 물이 차고 있어요. 그래가지고 이제 비가 오는 경우에는 저렇게 그냥 다이빙했다가 바로
Oh, so because it's raining, that little area where the waterfall, where the little water is, that area is starting to fill up with water. So you don't have to actually wash yourself with that little shower fountain thing. You could just dive in the water to wash yourself from the debuff.
상태로 이제 잡게
So like
되면은
the weather is it's actually affecting
추가적인 재료가
the mechanics of the fight, because you obviously you just dip yourself in water rather than go to the actual fountain.
좀 달라졌습니다.
That's good. That's sick.
그러니까 발로 이렇게 부르는 거예요. 이렇게 예, 데미지 존 같은 것들이 원형으로 주변에 많이 생깁니다. 훨씬 어렵고
아니 그러면 이게 팔을 공략하는 게 너무 빨리 공략을 하면 안 되겠는데요?
예, 사실은 그래서 최대한 늦게
Bro, this PvE content looks good, bro.
아, 그래서
This looks fun, dude. I'm actually really excited to play this. Oh, look at that perfect jump. Oh, yo, Giga Chad tank, man. Let's go.
네. 그래서 지금 여기 안에 뒤에 차량 많이 빠지고 있는데요.
전체적으로 지금 비호크가 걸렸어요. 공격 타이밍.
뒤에서 여기 닿기만 하면 이제
네네네.
안 가도
네, 비가 오기 때문에
그리고 이제
테벤트가
계단으로 안
좋은데.
올라와도 되고
예, 예.
바로 올라올 수 있습니다.
그러네요.
Because it's raining and the water level is up, you don't have to, you can just go into the water, dip in, and come back out rather than look for stairs to jump up.
잡는 길대. 와, 성공. 야, 여기서 막 못 떨어져요. 와.
He was saying they'd lower the difficulty to that raid. It's actually usually longer. They deliberately made it shorter for the showcase. It usually takes longer. And that's pretty much the showcase. That's pretty sick, man. I'll be honest. I'm pretty excited. Third and Liberty is going to be dropping in a few weeks here. We're going to be playing super hardcore once it drops in Korea. I already got my account pre-registered. I have my team. I've got my squad of people. We're going to be going pretty damn hard. And yeah, I'm pretty excited, especially after seeing the showcase. That looked pretty good. And I like the fact that they're showing the actual PvE. When I originally played, it felt too much like an automated mobile game. Those fights did not have that same vibe. Pretty excited to try it out, man. Pretty excited. So NCSoft has just released its first and only pre-order package for KR Throne and Liberty. This package can be purchased from now until the launch of the game, December 7th, and you will not be able to purchase it anymore. I do want to mention that I am planning on playing this game on December 7th, super hardcore, when it launches in KR. So if you are interested in checking the game out, be sure to follow me on Twitch. All the links are in the description below. So we're going to get right into this one here, guys. Here's the package. You can purchase this on the launcher. This is called the Silicium Pioneer package, and it's going for 49,900 Korean won. The exchange rate to that is about, I want to say, around $38, $39 USD, but this is local currency, so this is equivalent to about $50 here. So if this were to be released in the US and they wanted to keep the same price, it'll probably be released at $50. Just keep that in mind. So let's take a look at what's actually in this chest or this package. The first thing you get is 500 Lucent. That is the premium currency in the game. 500 Lucent is worth approximately 13,750 Korean won, which is about $13 local currency. When I say local currency, I want you to understand that the USD conversion rate is going to be different. If you want to know the current price, just knock off like 30% or so off of whatever I say is the local currency. The only reason why I want to phrase it that way is because if this is about $13 Korean, then it should probably be around $13 USD, even though $13 Korean may only be like $10 USD. So I'm just going to phrase it like that so it doesn't get too confusing here. The next thing here is a level 1 through 50 growth pass. Pretty self-explanatory here. As you level up from 1 to 50, you're going to get bonus rewards. This right here is equivalent to 29,900 Korean won, which is about $30 local currency. This could also be purchased once per character. The next thing we've got here is the battle pass. Again, pretty self-explanatory here. The battle pass is what it is, and this is valued at around 19,900 Korean won, which is about $20 local currency. This battle pass is character bound, and you will have 4 weeks to complete it. This is the season 1 battle pass, meaning you're going to have to purchase a battle pass that is appropriate to whatever season that we're in. So obviously you're not going to be able to purchase the season 1 battle pass in season 2. Next, we're going to go down to some of the cosmetics. You're going to get this outlaw skin if you also purchase this pack. I don't think they give an exact value for this. I didn't see an exact value for this. You also will get a sitting down on a throne emote here. You will get a special little title. I believe this title is called Pioneer of the Silicium. I believe that is what it's called. You're also going to get a rabbit transformation skill. In Throne and Liberty, this is equivalent to your mounts. When you sprint, you turn into a specific animal. When you fly or glide, you turn into a specific animal. If you swim, you turn into a specific animal. You can transform. And this one is a rabbit transformation when you sprint. Next, you're going to get a pet here, this little guy. And this little guy is called an Amatoy. I believe it's like one of their species in this game. I'm not 100% sure, but this is a pet. And the last thing that you get is a consumables chest, 10 consumables chest. And this just contains potions right here and elixirs that last for 15 seconds with 2-minute cooldowns. The HP pot is a 1-minute cooldown. And that is about it, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below in regards to some of these items that they are selling. I did want to put this quick video out because this is the first official thing that they have announced that they are actually selling within the game. Obviously, there's some passes and whatnot. I don't think any of us are expecting this game to be completely free to play. I mean, not only is it a Korean game, it's an NC soft game, right, at the end of the day. So I think most of us are hoping that it's just not that predatory. Of course, if this game is complete garbage, then it doesn't really matter because no one's going to be playing it anyway. But it is a brand new MMO. I am excited to play it. It looks like they've made a lot of really, really good changes, and we're just going to have to find out. So if it is a good game, I'm hoping it doesn't get ruined by monetization. So anything that's going to come out when it comes to what they're selling, I will definitely keep you guys updated. Once again, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Remember, I'm going to be streaming this game a lot when it comes out on December 7th, so catch me on Twitch. I'll see you in the next video.
It seems like a really good game. Or now I'm looking at graphics cards because I'm upgrading. Well, enough of that. I'm gonna relax for the night. I'm gonna watch more videos tomorrow. Gotta work tomorrow, but just every day, just do a couple hours of videos and reactions to MMOs and stuff. I did have other videos that we're gonna look at tomorrow. Probably gonna look at Pack Dad tomorrow. Maybe watch some more Throne and Liberty videos as well. Maybe watch some other MMOs. It'll be fun. But yeah, everyone have a great night. I'll see you guys in the next stream.